for forever. He'll join us at 5 p.m. Talk some San Diego State football with their offensive line coach. Senior night's coming up. Mike Schmidt will join us at 4 p.m. We can start with Randy Jones. Obviously, thoughts and prayers and condolences to the Jones family, to Padres fans. A significant figure in Padres lore going back to the 1970s, but then staying in San Diego for all these years as well, an ambassador, a broadcaster, and more. And unfortunately, passing away at the age of 75 earlier this week.
Yeah, when I first started over on the Padres radio network back in 2017, I want to say, that's when the Padres moved from Mighty 1090 over to 94.9. And they were going through a major transition. I go over there. I'm helping try to get that broadcast on the air. And Randy Jones was a big part of helping that broadcast out in any way he could. And, every story that I have about Randy Jones, everything that he would say to me or we would talk, like, I can't repeat it on air because Randy was just so authentic. Like, he was just like so nice, but also so authentic. And one time when my dad was a Randy Jones fan growing up. And my dad came down and I was working over, for the Padres radio broadcast. And, at that time they were a little more lenient on, hey, if you want to have someone come watch batting practice, we'll give you passes. Right. Now it's impossible because they're just gotta stick up the where. And so I got my dad a pass to go watch batting practice. And I told Randy, because I saw Randy in the booth, and I was like, hey, so my dad's here. He's a big fan of yours. I was just wondering if we can, if he could come down to the field and take a picture with us. He's like, oh yeah, sure. I'll come on down. Just holler at me.
Impersonation.
Yeah. Just come on, just holler at me. So I'm down on the field with my dad and we're watching batting practice, and Randy comes up and he has a jersey in his hand. And I was like, what's okay? Maybe he's giving a jersey to a kid. He gives my dad a signed Randy Jones jersey.
Wow.
I was like, whoa, okay. My dad was like, are you serious? He's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Took pictures with him on the field. I posted one of the pictures today on social media. And yeah, Randy, look, if you're a Padres fan and if you ever met Randy Jones, everybody has a Randy Jones story. Mm-hmm. Everybody, that met Randy, that took a picture with Randy. I saw a ton of pictures online today. He was more than happy to take pictures with anybody. I saw this kind of floating around out there, so I'm not going to take credit for it, but it's absolutely right. Like, Randy Jones was the first Padres superstar, right?
Yeah, I saw that UT column on that.
Yeah, won the Cy Young. His year was incredible. We'll never see a pitching year like that ever again in baseball. Rightfully so, has his number retired here in San Diego. And yeah, the Padres lost an ambassador today. They lost a big part of their franchise. And for, the older crowd in San Diego that are Padres fans, they lost probably one of their favorite players of all time today.
It's an interesting point because, to your point, I think most of our listeners and most Padres fans didn't see Randy Jones pitch. Because Randy Jones pitched in the 1970s, which means if you are younger than 50, maybe younger than 55, you didn't see Randy Jones pitch.
Right.
Okay. But you understand his legacy. He's been in San Diego for the last 50 years. He grew up in Southern California. And you're right, his 1976 season is an absurd season with the 300 innings and the 20-plus wins and a Cy Young Award. I mean, that's an amazing accomplishment. But it's amazing. You win a Cy Young, okay. Like, Blake Snell won a Cy Young. Is he going to be remembered and revered in the city for 50 years? No, of course not.
No.
But Randy Jones won a Cy Young. You look at his major league stint, by the way. His successes was over, he had this great 3 or 4 year run, but you got a legacy that lasts generations. So that's unique to me because, again, you get Blake Snell can win a Cy Young here. Is Blake Snell going to be remembered 50 years from now as an ambassador, a legacy piece of the history of the Padres organization? I don't think he will, like Randy Jones has been.
Listen to his 1976 Cy Young season. Crazy. 40 starts, 25 complete games, 315 and 2/3 innings pitched, 7 shutouts. He pitched 10 innings 2 times in that season. He only pitched 6 innings less than 3 times. This is all thanks to Darnay, by the way.
I was going to say.
I don't care. He struck out only 93 batters.
Right.
Like, what? It was an incredible year for Randy Jones winning the Cy Young. There's some other stats here that are just like off the charts that you'll never see ever again from a pitcher in today's baseball. And I think what makes Randy Jones who he was is he stuck around. He was here. You could always go when you went to the ballpark before Randy got diagnosed with his throat cancer, you would see Randy everywhere, right? He had the RJ barbecue down on the field, on the concourse level, right? When you go up the stairs, the barbecue's right there. And, if you would go to Petco Park a lot, there's a good chance you would have seen Randy Jones because he was as accessible as they come. And he helped me out a lot when I first started on the radio broadcast for the Padres. He would always, help out. He would come on. We had a daily segment with him on the show. And everybody has a Randy Jones story. And so, today is just, it's a tough day for the Padres organization. And like I said, for the older Padres fans out there, not the newer generation, like me and you, right? Like it's a little out of our time for Randy Jones, but the older generation today, probably, that was their first favorite Padre player. And that's why this is a sad day, is because it goes back generations. Yeah, no doubt. First Cy Young Award winner for the Padres, again, 1976, unfortunately gone at the age of 75. We're also reacting to what played out last night at Viejas Arena. I don't even know exactly. I'm still wrapping my arms around calling that game. What we witnessed, whether you were there or listening or watching, San Diego State losing a true heartbreaker last night to Troy at home in a game that you'll never see involving San Diego State. 108-107. It had all the theater. The Miles Bird half-court heave to tie the game at the end of regulation. San Diego State taking multiple 4-point leads in both the first and second overtimes. Ultimately done in by turnovers and a defense that we don't typically see out of the Aztecs. Troy scoring, again, 89 points in regulation. What is it going to mean for San Diego State? We'll see. It's obviously not ideal to lose any home game, especially out of the league in a quote-unquote guarantee or bye game. So rare with Brian Dutcher and San Diego State. It's rarely done. We haven't seen it probably in 6 or 7 years. You'd have to go back to a loss against Brown. I think in the 2018-19 season, the last time they lost a home bye game. But San Diego State's got the players' era on deck. Did not play well clearly last night. Nearly pulled a rabbit out of a hat, but couldn't do so in losing in 2 overtimes. Were you doing a lot of yelling last night? Because oh my gosh, I feel like the voice maybe. Well, I mean, first of all, 100%. I mean, this job. I mean, doing a 4-hour radio show and calling games and doing post-game shows and being on the air until 11 p.m. It's like if anyone had any clue what that entails, it would be amazing. Some what's it called? No, I mean, it's just, there's throat coat. You can't avoid it. I mean, if you're going to do a radio show, if you're going to do a 4-hour radio broadcast, I don't think it's possible. So are you okay? Did you sleep well last night? I didn't sleep well. I mean, your mind is racing. I mean, nobody follows college basketball closer than I do. And nobody's more passionate about it than I am. I mean, Aztec fans are. But, I mean, listen, I understand what they are feeling because San Diego State, the beauty of Brian Dutcher's teams is you are so conditioned to them winning games they're supposed to win. And that's what they do almost without exception. And then you lose a game like that, and there's always going to be reaction and to some extent maybe overreaction. Can it be overcome? Yes, it can absolutely be overcome. But now they have less margin. So they're going to have to play very well on the other side of this. We'll see how motivating it is once they get to Las Vegas. But yeah, it's a disheartening loss, obviously, 2 weeks into your season. So you have this bit where anytime the Aztecs play some rando team, you're like, I'm scared about, so-and-so player. It's not a bit. I'm scared about this. And every single time that has happened over the last, 4 years that we've been doing this show, they always win. They always win. And I'm like, it's fine, John. Everything's going to be fine. They're going to win the game. It's going to be fine. And you're like, University of Online Phoenix, man, they got some really nice shooters on that team. I'm like, who cares? Right. Like, the saying, blind
What?
blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Yeah.
I will say that you were right. And we didn't really have much conversation about the concerns of Troy, but I know that you had them.
Yeah.
And so as that game started, I was thinking to myself, maybe John
Maybe he
might
was
be on
right.
something here, because they jumped
14-2.
out to a 14-2 lead and they didn't let up. I mean, look, we'll talk about San Diego State. Credit to Troy. They look
Yeah,
like
they got to get some of the credit.
They look like prime Golden State Warriors 2017 out there.
Right.
I mean, anytime
Crazy. Yeah.
the Aztecs made a run after the 14-2, jump in the game to start the game, they countered every single time.
Yeah.
And look, they don't look like a team that just lost their previous 2 games or 3 games or whatever it was coming into this one. And all 3 of their starters foul out and into double overtime, and they still found a way. I mean, they're hitting some crazy, just like heave 3-pointers, and I'm like, how is this? What is happening right now?
Right.
And so, yeah, credit to Troy for doing what they did. I mean, they're averaging damn near 90 points a game, and you saw why last night. But on the flip side, I was thinking, is that the worst loss in the Brian Dutcher era?
No.
What's the worst one?
Well, I mean, certainly Brown at home metrically isn't even close.
Okay, so
this team was in the tournament last year.
But that's last year.
Yeah, but that's all we can really go off.
I know, but their Ken Palm's in the almost 140s.
No, they're Ken Palm right now. First of all, 140s is why they were scheduled. They're a top half team. Like 140s is good. There's 360 teams.
But they were a 15.5 point favorite. I'm saying is, I can't remember the last time a bye game for San Diego State at home at Viejas Arena.
It was Brown.
Well, still, I'm saying like it's been a long time.
100%.
And
100%.
a 15.5 point favorite, and they were as uncharacteristic as you could see that team last night play, other than the fact that they put up 100 plus points, which is also uncharacteristic of a Brian Dutcher led basketball team. I think on the broadcast they said it was only like the 43rd time in program history or something.
Like 100 years.
They scored 100 points in a game.
Yeah. Well, you need double overtime to get there,
They're just not a program that's historically going to put up 100 or even close to 100, because they're defensive minded. 60. Right. They're a defensive minded program. But I mean, there's no sugarcoating. It was a brutal loss. It was an absolute brutal loss.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad loss. I mean, I think brutal, honestly, is probably too far. I think, again, people did it. The thing is, there's a lot of complexities in college basketball. People will tell you that a Troy loss is worse than like losing to UNLV, when losing to UNLV last year was the exact same thing. It's just we just don't see Troy, but UNLV is the exact same metrics as Troy. Last year's loss to UNLV was a quad 3 loss. This will be a quad 3 loss. It's just people aren't familiar with it. People don't see San Diego State lose at home. They win 88% of the time. They didn't lose to Prairie View A&M 359 in the net, is my point. Can it be overcome? It can, but they're going to have to do it.
They now have work to do. It's November, so it's not like they are at the end of their season and they suffer some god-awful loss to Air Force or whatever. But going into the NIL tournament next week, I mean, you got some opportunities to kind of wipe away this Troy loss with,
it won't be easy.
It won't be easy taking on Michigan and Oregon, and then whoever you'll face in the third game of that tournament next week. So they are definitely going to have to do some work here before the start of conference play. And if they have a bad showing in the NIL tournament next week, I mean, still, it is early, but like they'll need to kick it into high gear
100%
in conference play and really, dominate the conference.
They lost their margin by losing to Troy, but they didn't lose their season by losing to Troy. We'll hear from Brian Dutcher on the other side. We'll hear from Miles Bird as well. We're remembering Randy Jones. Bernie Wilson will join us coming up on today's show, as well as Jon and Jim. All right, Bernie Wilson from formerly with the AP, covered the Padres for a long time, will join us coming up at 5 p.m. His thoughts on the life and legacy of Randy Jones. Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's offensive line coach. Senior Day is in 3 days at Snapdragon Stadium. We have a pair of tickets to give away. Mike Schmidt, the offensive line coach, former offensive lineman here in his second stint, will join us coming up at 4 p.m. All right, Brian Dutcher. Let's hear from Dutch. Brian Dutcher always has a way to remain level-headed. This was him post-game with the media upstairs at Viejas Arena on losing a bye game to Troy.
Yeah, they're always hard. Every game's hard. I mean, you forget about it. Last 2 times Irvine came in here, we made buzzer beaters to beat them. They had us beat. And so finally one caught up with us where we didn't make a buzzer beater. But all these bye games, all these teams we play, they don't roll over for us. They play pretty hard in here. And we've had tight games in here, even looking back to the 30-2 team when San Jose was having a tough season and hit a shot to beat us, or almost did. Malachi hit a shot. So these games are all close. These games are battles. So you remember the wins a little differently than the losses, obviously. But we've had close games in here on bye games in the past. Usually we find a way to win. I thought we were going to today too, especially when we had a 4-point lead. But back-to-back turnovers with a 4-point lead was really costing.
Dude, yeah.
That was a huge part of the game.
That the turnovers was and the defense, but I think Troy made some really tough shots. But more importantly, I think if Brian Dutcher were to lose any sleep last night, he would lose sleep over the turnovers.
I agree.
That always in any league, in college, in AAU, in elementary school, in the NBA, turnovers are the coach's biggest problem. And when you have that many turnovers, that's what you look at. And I bet you that their practices this week, one, I hope Dave Velasquez is okay, because giving up 108 points, bro, I take a deep breath. And then emphasis on protecting the basketball is going to be the 2 biggest things, in my opinion, that they're going to be focusing on leading up to the Michigan game.
They were outscored off turnovers 29-15 in the game at home. So I completely agree with you. 20 turnovers is way too many, even in double overtime. And they have veteran guards, but through 3 games, they're still trying to figure out, how to implement this really deep, they're playing 10, 11 guys. Yeah. This is the first time all year you've had Waters, Guath, Bird in a game, right? Guath returns. I mean, on 5 field goal attempts, scored 20 points. So, I mean, it's pretty good. In fact, he's the first player in Mountain West history through regulation to have the line he had in the history of the league. Nobody ever had 20 points, 8 rebounds, no missed shots, whatever it was. So the encouraging news is you have Magoon Guath, who returned. You have Reese Dixon Waters, this veteran player. You have Miles Bird, who I thought played really well, scored 24 points in the game, did miss a 3 for a chance to win at the end of the second overtime. You just gotta put in the rearview mirror. You gotta hope that you're better off for it, and you gotta hope with some rhythm and consistency, like Guath, Waters, Bird on the floor together, hopefully over and over and over again. Hopefully that pays dividends. But there's no question. I mean, there's things that have to be cleaned up. Brian Dutcher said it. Anyone would say it if you watched it or were there last night. There's no question.
Yeah, other than the fact, and this is like a big thing here. Other than the fact it was a quad 3 loss, other than the fact it was a 15.5 point favorite at home and you lost to a bye game to Troy. Other than all that, right? It's like, man, that half court game tying 3 by Miles Bird is now basically go to waste. 100%. Like, it doesn't matter. If they had to win that game after he made that, because that would go on the highlight reel, and it probably might still go on the highlight reel, but still, it would have been way more impactful. If they went on and won that game. It reminded me a lot of like the Malachi Flynn 3-pointer back in their undefeated COVID year against San Jose State. To what was it? Tie the game, I think it was.
That was to win it.
To win it.
I mean, they were trailing by 1 against a team that was in the 300s in the RPI at the time.
Now this is this wasn't to win it. It was just to tie it. But dude, that half court shot, and now it's like no one's going to talk about it.
It almost becomes more cruel because if you're a fan, you're like, all of a sudden you have this false hope. Like they trailed by 12 with 3 minutes to play.
And then I know.
And then you said the game was over. They
we
tied
didn't
it
even
up.
talk about that.
They tied it up. And then in overtime, they led by 4 twice. In double overtime, they led by 4 once with the ball. And then they didn't win the game. You tweeted brutal loss before the game was over. And then you were right.
Before the half court. Unfortunately, I was right. But still, it was. I was hoping I was wrong. I was hoping this was going to be one of those epic Jim tweets where everyone calls me an idiot, and it turns out to be a good thing for the Aztecs.
Right?
Like, oh, I did the reverse jinx, which I thought I did. Like half court 3 to tie the game to send this thing to overtime when they were left for dead.
Oh yeah, I mean the fact that even happened is incredible. I don't even know how it happened.
Yeah, and I'm not going to complain about the referees. I'm not. Even
no,
though there were a million free throws.
There were a million free throws both ways. I agree.
There were bad calls on both ends. Awful calls on both ends.
Good,
right. It wasn't good, but it wasn't the reason why they lost. So I can't point to that. What I point to is the turnovers in their defense. Like
they didn't play well. I mean, the truth is, I don't know if I said it earlier. I do think Troy deserved to win the game.
Yeah.
The problem is, if you're an Aztec fan, is who was there for the taking. It doesn't matter at the end of the day who deserves to win.
Could have stole it.
Yeah, you could have stolen it.
It wouldn't have mattered.
And nobody would ever be the wiser. When you beat Air Force last year by a point on Wayne McKinney shot, nobody was to the wiser. When you beat San Jose State behind Malachi Flynn, it's when you don't win that game. That's when it carries weight into UCSD is a great example at the buzzer.
Yep.
But this is now carrying weight until March. If you put yourself in a position to have the resume to potentially get in on CBS, the good wins, whatever those hope to be, the bad losses, it'll be sitting there all season long. You can't escape losing to Troy. You can hope Troy has a good year, but you can't escape losing at home to Troy.
And I don't want to go down to like too far ahead, but there is a scenario in a world because of this loss to Troy, unfortunately, where if they don't get that automatic bid, they potentially could miss out on the tournament. And to think that while looking at this team, how last year's team made the tournament, I would say this year's team is infinitely better than last year's team. And last year's team had that one win over Houston that carried its weight all throughout the regular season, leading all the way up to Selection Sunday. And it was the golden ticket and the reason why the Aztecs made March Madness.
And avoiding bad losses.
That too.
That's how they made the tournament.
That too, but that Houston win kind of catapulted them into the tournament. Where if they didn't beat Houston, I think it would have been pretty tough.
I completely agree, and we'll talk about more on their side. But there's the two parts to that equation because they narrowly got by San Jose State twice. They narrowly got by Air Force. Now they didn't get by Troy. Can they counter it with a win like the Houston win? Because now they still have to do that.
As you said, margin for error is gone. You can't have a slip up against Air Force. You can't have a slip up against like Wyoming at home. You can't have a slip up, against San Jose State at home or on the you just can't have that anymore.
Completely agree.
That's their fault.
What did Miles Bird have to say about it? We'll hear from Miles on the other side. Again, Bernie Wilson will join us at 5 p.m. We'll talk some San Diego State football at 4 p.m. We've got tickets to give away. It's Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Lowe's. Last night, the Aztecs were upset by Troy 108-107 in double overtime. The Aztecs were a 15.5-point favorite at home. They now head to the NIL tournament in Las Vegas next week, where they will face Michigan first up in the NIL tournament. And sad news of the day in San Diego is former Padres great and former Cy Young Award winner Randy Jones passed away today at the age of 75. Lowe's knows that saving is always top of mind, especially this season. Shop early Black Friday deals like select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at $59.98 because it's basically Christmas, right? Lowe's, we help you save while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 here until 6 p.m. We've got 2 tickets to give away for San Diego State, San Jose State. We'll do that in the 4 o'clock hour. We have a family 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld San Diego's Christmas celebration to give away here today as well. Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's offensive line coach, will join us coming up at 4 p.m. Bernie Wilson will join us to talk about the life and legacy of Randy Jones. Will join us coming up at 5 p.m. Just wanted to hear from Miles Bird, and we can kind of put a bow for now on San Diego State. There's some MLB news about future TV rights, what it looks like with Major League Baseball moving forward. This was Miles Bird, who, by the way, joined me post-game, didn't need to do it. They lose by a point. Like, I didn't, he just strolls up, wanted to talk about it. And then, of course, he was with the media as well last night. This is Miles Bird with the media on where San Diego State goes from here.
I mean, we gotta obviously watch some film on this one. Everybody gotta learn on what we need to do better. But we got the number 5 team in the country on Monday. So I mean, as much as you want to sit on this one for the next 2 weeks, we really can't. We kind of got to get over it quickly. Definitely got to let it resonate. But I mean, it's a beginning of the college basketball season. It's a long season. I think as a team, we're going to be resilient enough to where we don't let this affect us in the long run. But we gotta do some work now.
I hope that's the case, but it does maybe reset them and refocus them. Like, okay, yeah, we have a deep team, and that's all people have been talking about. And people are like, "Oh, you guys are gonna be great. You're gonna be great." Sometimes you need a little bit of humbling.
Yeah.
And if last night isn't gonna humble them, then I don't know what will. Because last night, I'm not gonna say it's as bad as it gets, but could be. Right? It could be, and it could end up being as bad as it gets. And if last night is going to reset them and humble them and make them lock in, I don't know what will.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a fair point. I mean, you'd prefer to learn when winning, and sometimes though those tough lessons you're going to learn more by losing.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if we're going to see, even San Diego State bouncing back, so to speak, like Miles Bird just said. You're playing the 5th best team in the nation with a $20 million roster on Monday night. That's Michigan's budget. $20 million for basketball. Unlimited resources. Look at their team. I mean, look at the accolades. They've got 3 projected draft picks on their team right now. It's not an excuse. It is what it is. You have to go out there and find a way to win the game. I'm just saying San Diego State could, quote unquote, rebound from this. I don't know if that results in a win or not Monday night, but you'd like to see them play to their capability on Monday night, right? Play more, I don't know, to their ability, to the expectation. And we'll see if that's enough to win a game against a team as good as Michigan. If it's not, Oregon Tuesday, so on and so forth. I do agree that these are big games coming up Monday through Wednesday. I don't know if they're season defining or not, but you can start building a resume, right? The Troy game is going to be a knock on the resume. You can start building by beating Michigan and or Oregon and or whomever else you're going to play.
Would you say
they have to win one of the games?
Have to win one of the games?
Yeah, I mean, if you go 0-3 in the tournament and you're 2-4 overall, your at-large resume is going to be like, yeah, you're right where you need to be. I mean, you'll have serious work to do, and you'll have to do it basically through the Mountain West. So they have to win a game in Las Vegas to keep themselves in the conversation and keep their metrics high enough to continue to build on that in December, January, so on and so forth.
Best case scenario, they beat Michigan. They have that. And if they were to then go, 2 straight losses after that, against Oregon and whoever else. Wouldn't be the best thing in the world, but at least you got that Michigan win.
Yeah, you got something to work with, I would say, at that point.
I think best case scenario, I'm not going to say 3-0, but if you went 2-1,
Be a good result.
very good result.
Mhm.
Very, very good result. I wouldn't wipe away the Troy loss,
I agree.
but it won't make the Troy loss sting as much. Still going to sting. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's going to sting. We'll see how the rest of the season goes, especially in conference play. If they can avoid the landmines, and Grand Canyon's also on their schedule as well, and that's not like going to be an easy game.
They're all going to be hard. Yeah, it's true.
And so I just hope that once we get to conference tournament play, we're not sitting here being like, yeah, they got to win this conference tournament to make March Madness, because some people last night were being like, that's the only way the Aztecs are going to get in.
Yeah, but some people are overreactionary, and some people don't know the sport. I mean, there's been a lot of teams that have lost a game of the caliber of the game that San Diego State lost last night that have made the NCAA tournament. That doesn't mean San Diego State will. Two things are true.
We still have to see what happens in Las Vegas, and we still have to see what happens in the regular season.
What if 30 games?
Yeah, what if the Aztecs roll in Mountain West Conference play? How many conference games are there?
20. Yeah, you go 18-2 or something.
What if they go 18-2 at conference play, and they beat Michigan? They go 1-2 in the NIL tournament, but they beat Michigan. They go 18-2 in conference play. It's like, then it's a totally different conversation. The Troy loss will still be there, but I don't know if it's going to be like staring you dead in the face like it could be if they don't take care of business from here on out.
Yeah, they all matter, I guess, is the point. I mean, the point where I think people overreact is they're like, well, now that you've lost this game, the only path is by winning the Mountain West tournament. It's not factually accurate. I mean, San Diego State has lost comparable games over the years and made it as an at-large team to the NCAA tournament. But what it does suggest is they have less margin of error, and they will need to pick up. The reason you're in an event like this is to take advantage of the opportunity. Yeah, the money helps too.
Yeah,
for the future of your roster and for your team, but they're not going just for the check. Last year they won 2 games. Beat Creighton, beat Houston. Houston was their ticket potentially to the NCAA tournament. So it's hard. I mean, people said Boise's season was over when they lost their opener to a Division II game. Now that's unprecedented. I don't know what that's
What loss
mean.
would you rather have? Would you rather have the Hawaii Pacific loss under your belt or the Troy loss?
It's not even close. But I don't even know what the Division II loss means, because it's unprecedented. No team's ever done it and made the NCAA tournament as an at-large. So that's truly unprecedented. What San Diego State did is not unprecedented. Teams win, right? I mean, it's not the first time that San Diego State has lost at home. And there's other teams in the country that will lose a bye game at home and make the NCAA tournament, guaranteed.
UC Davis just beat Nevada last night.
Exactly. I mean,
Nevada.
Exactly. I don't know if Nevada's an at-large team. Listen, I don't think the Mountain West is getting 4, 5, 6 teams in the NCAA tournament like it has the last handful of years.
By the way, we'll see how the Mountain West fares, because you got last night, obviously San Diego State losing to Troy in double overtime. Fresno State beat FC Austin, or SF Austin, 80-78.
It's a really good win, actually.
And then Boise State beat Wichita State 62-59.
Also a good win.
So they're all close games here.
Yeah. I was just saying, I don't think the Mountain West is as good as it's been in recent years. I think you're probably looking at maybe a couple of teams to the NCAA tournament. I don't think you're looking at 4. A couple of teams. You think less or more?
When you say couple, like 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Probably something like 2 would be my guess.
Yeah.
What if, like, hypothetically, say Troy wins the Sun Belt,
like they did last year?
Yeah. Would that?
Yeah.
You want
Troy? Yeah.
Huge,
No, that's what I mean. Then it's going to be a big nothing burger.
They could absolutely do it. They're projected to potentially be that team. Yeah.
You're all now Troy fans here.
Yeah. They're playing SC tomorrow night.
Go
in Los
Troy.
Angeles. So let's see what happens. Troy versus Troy in LA at the Galen Center. All right. On the other side, we have a couple things to talk about on the other side, including Major League Baseball announcing a new rights package. Also, does San Diego State football need to prepare for life post Sean Lewis? We'll explain on the other side. This is San Diego Sports 760. All right, Jon and Jim. San Diego Sports 760. We'll be joined by Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's offensive line coach. Aztecs have obviously run the ball well. They've got San Jose State coming up on Saturday night. We have 2 tickets to give away. We'll give those away after a conversation with Coach Schmidt coming up at 4 p.m. Bernie Wilson on Randy Jones. Bernie Wilson will join us at 5 p.m. We've got the latest on these MLB new rights packages as well beginning next season. But there is this today, a release from, I think, the Maxwell Group, that Sean Lewis is a semifinalist as the National Coach of the Year, the George Munger Coach of the Year Award, given out annually. Sean Lewis is on that short list to be considered for National Coach of the Year in FBS football. Now, we've kind of beaten around this point maybe over the last week or two. How much on high alert does San Diego State need to be about what happens once the season comes to an end and Sean Lewis's future?
It's going to be a thing. I don't think it's going to be nothing. I don't know if it's going to be like white hot, like a red alert. This is potentially Sean Lewis's last couple games coaching for the Aztecs. But I mean, let's be real here. He has done a good enough job here in his first 2 seasons that would probably warrant him potentially getting interviewed somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course.
And we'll see. I mean, I didn't expect it to be potentially in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of looking at year like 3, maybe 4, right? Like 4 for sure. 3 at the earliest. I thought year 1, rebuild. Year 2, improvement. Year 3, start competing for Mountain West Conference championships and, getting 10+ win seasons. And then if he made it past that, year 4, it's like, well, he might be gone if he continues to do a good job here. But they've kind of skipped that step of like taking the next step
and taking
2 steps and gone right to competing for a Mountain West Conference championship.
It's like this delicate balance where you want your team to be really, really good, but what is the cost of being really, really good? Because if you lose Sean Lewis, what does that mean for you moving forward? Now, here's the other conversation. If you're Sean Lewis, are you seeking to go anywhere that's P4, or are you looking for the right job on the other side of this? Because you might have an opportunity, but is it the right opportunity? Like Wisconsin, they announced that their head coach is going to be back. He's a Wisconsin graduate. If it's Wisconsin, you could easily argue, well, that's the right opportunity. He's an alum, played there, played for Barry Alvarez. Of course, he'd want to go back to Wisconsin. Nobody would ever fault him for that. But let's say, I don't even know what's open that would be like a second tier Power 4 job. With all due respect to UCLA,
Oklahoma State, did they hire somebody?
Oklahoma State is a good example. I mean, they've typically had resources and success, but yeah, maybe that's a second tier P4 job. Do you jump at Oklahoma State knowing that if you go, I'm making it up, 4-8 in the first year, people are calling for your head?
You get more money, you get more resources, but like you said, yeah, do you want to do that, or do you want to try to see this thing through here at San Diego? And look, what if they do win the Mountain West Conference title this year?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that one of Sean Lewis's main goals, is to bring back this program to be competing and winning Mountain West Conference titles?
Yeah. So
he already completed that in year number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And if he were to leave, he'll say, look, I came back here to bring this program back to its winning ways, back to competing for Mountain West Conference championships and winning Mountain West Conference championships. And I accomplished that in just 2 short years. He could say, my job's done.
Oh, yeah. No one is going to blame, like if Sean Lewis, let's say in 15 days, because this stuff happens quick.
Yeah.
Or let's say, you get through the Mountain West championship game. Hopefully San Diego State's in it, win or lose. If whenever that is, 15, 20 days from now, Sean Lewis is like, I've taken the head coaching job at UCLA. I'm making it up, right? I don't think many level-headed Aztec fans will be like, how could you do that? I can't believe you left for Oklahoma State. I can't believe, how could you possibly say that? What would be the reasoning to say that?
You're an Aztecs fan, or you're just a fan in general that's like
blinded by does it make sense?
Your coach leaving you.
Yeah,
right?
Does it make sense, I guess?
Yeah, if you're level-headed, but how many honest, like diehard fans out there are level-headed with their sports takes?
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's just this is the way sports work, right? Like if you're if you're having success, it's like if you're having success at Ohio State, you go to the NFL. If you're having success at James Madison, you go to Ohio State as a player,
Like
and get the NIL money. It's just how it works.
we can look at it through a level-headed lens. I'm telling you, there will be a lot of fans out there. If that were to happen, that would not be happy. How could you be?
Wouldn't be happy with whom?
Well, just the fact that the program is losing a coach that just brought them back to win a Mountain West Conference title. And I also do think the fan out there of we don't oh, you just came to use us as a stepping stone and you didn't really want to be here for the long haul and screw you. Guarantee you there will be fans out there that think that way.
Well, they think that way. And yeah, we can't control how people think. It's kind of like the Michael King outperform your contract theory, though. Do you want your pitchers performing and then when they hit free agency, you can't retain them? Or do you want your pitchers underperforming and you retain them? Is it preferred Sean Lewis goes 6-6 every year and is here for 9 years? Or is it preferred that Sean Lewis wins a title or two and leaves? That it's a Sophie's choice. It's a delicate balance. But it's kind of the nature of the beast. JD, I think you were at the press conference the day he was announced.
Yeah. Well,
at the press conference the day he was announced, JD Wicker was specifically announced, what if everything you're saying is true and he leaves in 2 years? He says, yeah, then we'll deal with it then. That's what we want to happen. We want to be really good.
Yeah, because let's be real here. He's not leaving if the team goes, 3-7.
Right. He's not leaving by his own choice at that point.
No, he's leaving because he did a good job here.
But here's the thing. The same people that would be pissed if Sean Lewis leaves for UCLA were calling for his job when he went 3-9. Right. So you can't concern yourself with it.
Just like the same people last night that wanted to fire Brian Dutcher for losing to Troy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like some of this stuff you can't concern yourself with, but it's an interesting situation. I have no idea if Sean Lewis is going to be here in 2026 or not. I think it's kind of fascinating.
I know. We had that conversation. It's like, would you rather have an 8-5 year when he returns, or would you rather have a 11-1 year and he wins the Mountain West Conference
and leaves?
And leaves.
Right. 8-5 stay, 11-1 leave. Here's the thing.
Or 11-2 or whatever.
Right. I mean, if it results in a college football playoff berth and you just roll the dice and you deal with the other side of it. Unfortunately, their odds of making the college football playoff are remote. So are people going to be okay with, hey, they won the Mountain West Conference, which is an ideal scenario still. And then the other side, Sean Lewis moves on. If you go from 3-9
to 11-8 or 11-2, sorry.
I mean, credit to Sean Lewis. I mean, then you've deserved the opportunities that are presented to yourself.
That's a massive turnaround.
It's ridiculous. It's like the nation's best turnaround if that happens.
+8 in wins.
I mean, outside shot of 12 wins of the bowl game.
Yeah.
Now, again, they have a lot of work to do. They have 8 right now. To get to 12 requires a lot of good football.
Yeah. And they have a bunch of injuries, so it's not going to be easy.
Not easy at all. But again, if they do get to 11 or 12 wins, then I understand his name is going to heat up.
Hey, even a 10-3 year.
This is pretty good, right?
Now it's like if you get to the Mountain West Conference title game and you host that and you lose it, that 10-3 is not going to feel the same. And then you get to the bowl game and we'll see what happens there.
Right.
But still, it already is a great turnaround to go from 3 wins to 8 wins the following year with 2 games remaining in the regular season. Hopefully the Mountain West Conference title game and a bowl game too.
But listen, I think the general point is, aren't you kind of fascinated by it? What's going to happen in 2 weeks? Is Sean Lewis staying? We'll find out. And it'll play out very quickly after the season.
I am intrigued by it, but also, I mean,
worried about it.
Has there been any noise or?
No, but noise happens quick in college football, like in 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's like UCLA's got candidates and then they hire JMU's head coach the next day. Right. Like that, it happens very quickly. And I guess my last point on it is maybe Sean Lewis, by seeing it through another year or two, has that more ideal opportunity on the other side. Wisconsin, a top half Big Ten job other than Wisconsin, something in the SEC. I'm just thinking out loud, ACC. Maybe by waiting another year or two, he'll have a better opportunity on the other side of it. All right, we're going to get to the latest with Major League Baseball. They've announced new rights packages for 2026 nationally, what that means for Padres fans and baseball fans. Plus, Mike Schmidt, San Diego State offensive line coach, will join us at 4. Bernie Wilson will join us coming up at 5 p.m. Stay with us, Jon and Jim.
All right, this update's brought to you by Staples Stores. Aztecs losing to Troy last night, 108-107 in double overtime. Aztecs now will take on Michigan next week in the NIL tournament in Las Vegas. Sad news today in San Diego. Former Padres great and former Cy Young Award winner Randy Jones passed away today at the age of 75. And tonight at 6 p.m. we have SDFC midweek live, 1 full hour of SDFC talk, getting you ready for the semifinal match next Monday night at Snapdragon Stadium against Minnesota. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't forget custom cards, invites, photo gifts, wrapping paper, and more. Staples, that was easy.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We've got Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's offensive line coach, at 4 p.m. Then we'll give away Aztec tickets for Saturday night, senior night at Snapdragon Stadium. And then coming up at 5 p.m., Bernie Wilson will join us. Of course, used to work with the AP for a long time. Bernie Wilson will join us coming up at 5 p.m. So a couple of giveaways for you. You just mentioned Monday night. Monday night, SDFC at home, San Diego State in Vegas. A very busy sports night locally in San Diego. Of course, you can listen to both of them. You can watch both of them. Both are impactful. But SDFC, like you said, Monday night for a chance to move on to the Western Conference Finals. San Diego State looking to bounce back against Michigan, a top 5 caliber team that has not yet lost this year. Both of those coming up Monday night for San Diego sports fans. It's going to be a big night.
So you can listen to San Diego State, Michigan here on 760, and then SDFC Minnesota on our sister station, Jammin' 95.7, for their semifinal match at Snapdragon Stadium.
So maybe one AirPod on one phone. If you had 2 apps, you take one phone, open the iHeartRadio app, and put on the one game, and then open another phone and another app and put the other game on in your other AirPod. I don't know what that would be like to experience. That would probably be awful to try to do that, but you could do that if you so chose to do that.
Brent, can you get an Adrian call and a John call and play them at the same time? Because that's what exactly
2 tracks, like tracks on top of each other.
That's exactly what it would sound
or
like.
Darren or whomever. Yes, exactly.
If Adrian's calling the game or Darren's calling the game, you know what?
Is there at the same? What time is the match? Is it 7 p.m. the match? Starters is 7:30.
Let me double check.
Yeah. I forget. It's 7. It's 7. Mike Usher said. So I mean, they're basically at the same time. San Diego State plays at 7:30. So you could start with SDFC, and they're not a true overlap, like both at 7 p.m., but they're pretty close to it.
You can do the listen to the game on your phone and watch the game on television, and also simulcast. I think
that is cool. Yeah, where you can listen to the play-by-play from local radio on Apple TV.
It's from the home side, so I'm pretty sure that's how it'll work. I don't know.
I don't know if any changes.
I don't know if it's different if it's on Jammin' 95.7. Like if they go to listen to the home broadcast, is it going to be John calling the Aztec Michigan game?
No way. That'd be ridiculous. Because I did it recently, and here's what impressed me the most about that. However, the audio matches the video is the most impressive feat.
Oh yeah,
because we know when we're doing audio work with there's factors at play. So however they do that, it works. It works within like a quarter of a second or whatever. So anyway, we have that coming up Monday night on Snapdragon Stadium, and then against San Diego State in Las Vegas. We have learned today, Jim, that Major League Baseball has new national TV packages for 2026. We're talking about this upcoming year, and they are unique, including Sunday Night Baseball on NBC beginning in 2026. Additionally, Netflix has Major League Baseball content, including the Home Run Derby. There's this whole MLB.TV dynamic with ESPN. There's some other pieces in there as well, but we're getting like wholesale change. How long did we watch Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN? 30 years? Forever. Jim's lifetime. It's 30-something years. Mm-hmm. And that's finally switching to NBC. What do you make of these switches and changes heading into next season?
So the whole rundown here, we got baseball returns to NBC for the first time since 2000.
Okay.
World Series used to be on NBC.
I remember.
Sunday Night Baseball and all wild card games are going to be exclusively on NBC, NBCSN, and Peacock.
Really? NBCSN? Okay.
MLB's Sunday leadoff show will be on Peacock and on NBCSN,
Okay.
NBC Sports Network.
Yeah. Which is back. That's
2026 All-Star Week coverage will be on NBC, NBCSN, and Peacock, including the Major League Baseball draft and futures game. And then special event games, including primetime matchups on opening day and Labor Day. The agreement, which covers the rights for 2026 through 2028. And then we got to get to the MLB.TV stuff, which I don't even really understand yet. I think that the Padres eventually, when the season comes close, they'll send out a memo, let fans know how to do it. Like, okay. But as of right now, I have no idea.
I think from what I read today, you'll still be able to do it if you're a Padres fan the way you've been doing it through MLB.TV. But I think there'll be another avenue to do it through ESPN's direct-to-consumer app, which nobody likes right now.
Mm-hmm.
But ESPN now, I guess, owns those rights for the next 3 years. What about Netflix? Listen to Netflix's rights package. It's so bizarre to me. The T-Mobile Home Run Derby, an opening night exclusive game.
Giants and Yankees, I think.
Which is big. The 2026 MLB Field of Dreams game.
Phillies and...
Yeah, I just saw that. I forget who they're playing.
Is it Reds?
I don't know. But you're right. The Field of Dreams game. So that unique standalone in the cornfields of Iowa.
It's Phillies and Twins. I was wrong.
Weird. But okay. Cornfields of Iowa. Cool. And then they also own the rights to the World Baseball Classic in Japan. Not the World Baseball Classic. They own the Japanese rights to the World Baseball Classic. It's like the most bizarre portfolio of baseball games. Netflix loves their events, like Home Run Derby. They don't want the whole season. Christmas Day football. Like they just love these. They just love events, I feel like.
Now you sent me something today that
got the money
made Rob Manfred surprisingly, shockingly, look like an idiot. And baseball look like, what are you doing?
They threw away a lot of money.
So where'd you get this? Where'd you get this from?
The Athletic.
Okay. So in the Athletic, I have it pulled up.
Yeah.
Says here in the Athletic that ESPN planned to pay around $1.65 billion over the next 3 seasons for Sunday Night Baseball, the Home Run Derby, and first round playoff games. Now that NBC and Peacock has picked up Sunday Night Baseball and the first round playoff games, they picked it up for nearly $200 million a year. Essentially, it comes down to they had 2 deals, right? Opening day, Home Run Derby, Field of Dreams game on Netflix for $50 million per season, and then the $200 million for like the NBC Peacock stuff. Those 2 deals added up to nearly $750 million in total over the next 3 years, which is $900 million less than what ESPN owed before the opt-out.
Right. So an epic fail to include an opt-out in this deal, which, by the way, Major League Baseball wanted.
Yep. Because they thought they could go to market
for more
and get a massive deal.
Now, there's a caveat later in this article. That $900 million that they're like this gap from $1.65 billion to $750 million. There's a $900 million gap the next 3 years.
Yeah.
How are they making that up? The MLB.TV rights that were sold to ESPN, ESPN's going to pay $900 million for that for the next 3 years. But the however is MLB used to make that money.
Now they're not.
Now they're not. Now that ESPN will make anything on top of it. So certainly this opt-out deal that Major League Baseball put in these contracts that have put them in this spot where they've got these 3 years, 26, 27, 28, it's cost them a fortune of money. Putting the opt-out in for ESPN. And remember what Rob Manfred said after? Good, we don't need them, essentially, right?
Yeah.
They weren't good for us. Was a massive calculated mistake.
I love this line in the article. Manfred's move in the original negotiations is akin to reaching for a 3-0 pitch and fouling out instead of just taking first base and collecting $1.65 billion.
We've seen that.
Yes, we have.
We've seen a little bit of that.
Every time we've seen it, we are losing our minds.
Exactly.
Because it's stupid.
Imagine being the commissioner as you report to the owners. You retain your job as long as he does, and you literally cost owners hundreds of millions of dollars.
And they're like, what are you doing?
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Because they have to have a deal done by next year. They can't just go into next season with nothing.
And by the time the opt-out happened, you're right, it's like this, it was such a cluster F.
And you're doing this on the heels of a potential labor dispute.
Yeah, which could cost the owners hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah. It's
like,
crazy.
I know this is probably maybe a bridge too far, but let's just go down that road real quick.
Okay.
Let's go down worst case scenarios, there's a lockout, at least for a half a season in 2027. I don't know what Rob Manfred's contract looks like as commissioner, but if you're the owners, how do you not try to get this guy out? How do you not try to push him out for taking this, or not taking this awful deal? Because I'm not gonna say it's an awful deal, but just like leaving so much money on the table, and then being basically the poster front and center of a potential lockout in 2027. How do you stay commissioner if those things happen?
Well, he's signed through January 2029. They just extended him for 4 years, so that happened within the last year. He makes, any guesses?
Good amount.
Rob Manfred, does he make more or less than Joe Musgrove?
More than Joe Musgrove.
Per year he does, $25 million.
That's a joke.
Plus options. So who the heck knows what he actually makes?
He's done some nice things.
He has. There's been some wins here with baseball recently.
I think the pitch clock is going to be a massive win. I love it already is a massive win. I think the ABS is going to be a massive win. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The pitch clock has already been a massive win. There's making the bases bigger. I don't know. Like
some other things, maybe.
But specifically those two, speeding up the game,
right,
has been, I think, fantastic for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need 3 hour and 45-minute games. We need 2 hour and 45-minute games tops. But I don't know, man. I still think Rob Manfred. There's a scenario out there in a universe that potentially could happen soon, where he just F's this whole thing up, and he almost got close to effing it up in the 2021 season.
In the 2021 season,
after the 2020 season, remember in 2021 where there was a work stoppage until like February 1st or February whatever. Probably later than that, where you missed part of spring training.
Right.
And every team had to do like, hyperdrive as far as like moves go. And it was just like a bang, 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 bang. And he got lucky. They had to put in some double headers in there to make sure he had 162. But he was just pushing off the potential inevitable until 2026. At the end of 2026, now we're going to start seeing potentially the owners putting their foot down, and the players union, they're putting their foot down, and with what the Dodgers are doing and revenue sharing, this could be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that losing out on that much money in their next TV rights deal wouldn't be advantageous for baseball within a year of a potential lockout. We'll see where they go from here. But yeah, again, it's like, have they even announced, like, is this even done? Like, where's the World Series airing in 2026?
Still on Fox.
The World Series is still on Fox in 2026?
Yeah, I think they have a contract
through 2028.
So they have a long-term contract with
because
Fox.
Wasn't there some reports that we could see World Series games on different networks moving forward? Like multiple networks,
but Fox would be the main one.
Gotcha.
Everyone's ears have to continue to bleed listening to Joe Davis and John Smoltz, unfortunately.
Okay.
For the Padres side of this, Matt Friars tweeted this out today. And he said there will be an option for Padres fans in San Diego to get the broadcasts next year, whether or not they purchase other ESPN or MLB.TV subscriptions, which is about the best outcome fans could have hoped for. Still unknown is the impact on the team revenue.
All right. Interesting. All right. We can continue to react to that. On the other side, we have Aztec tickets to give away at 4 p.m. Coming up at 5 p.m. Bernie Wilson will join us to talk about the life and legacy again of the story that we're talking about all day long, the passing of Randy Jones. We're here until 6 p.m. It's Jon and Jim. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's offensive line coach, will join us coming up at 4 p.m. At 5 p.m., Bernie Wilson will join us. We'll talk more about the passing of Randy Jones. Did you see the big NFL news today? That massive story out of...
Hold on. No.
You know the massive story.
Massive NFL story.
Massive.
Today. Is it that Shedeur Sanders is starting versus the Raiders?
That is exactly right. He will start against the Raiders. His first career NFL start, coming off that 4 for 16, 2 sacks, 1 INT, 47-yard game.
You know who the first person I thought of was?
I don't know.
When I saw that news this morning? Josina Anderson.
Oh,
Because
yeah, that's right.
Nobody, nobody
Wouldn't happen without her.
carried the water for Shedeur Sanders this past weekend when he went out there and stunk it up more than Josina Anderson. I mean, the ultimate PR spin was from her, probably on the payroll from Dion. And I don't think there's anybody more happy than Josina Anderson. You know why? Not only is he starting, he's going to get first team reps this week.
First team reps.
And every single one of her tweets over the weekend about Shedeur Sanders was complaining how, hey, Shedeur threw another pick, but it was because he never got first team reps. Give me a break.
Do you think he ever relinquishes this job as Brown's starter? Remember, they've had 42 starters since 1999. 42. He's their 42nd starting quarterback since 1999. How long does he stay their starter?
Hot take.
Okay.
Here's my hot take.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be done he's never going to stick.
Yeah, like he's not going to. I mean, will he get a chance to start, assuming health, just to finish the year?
It's the cycle of the Cleveland Browns.
It doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter who you are. They will never have a franchise quarterback.
Isn't that insane?
Shedeur Sanders is not it. Sorry. He might have some nice plays here and there, and he'll look good here and there. Eventually, they'll move on. He'll be on the long list of quarterbacks for this Cleveland Brown franchise. And this is not going to be like a 10-year thing.
Have you ever seen this list?
It's insane.
I mean, this list is actually insane.
There's a jersey
I've seen that
in Cleveland. It's like in somebody's like store.
Yeah.
And it has a list on
great.
the back of the jersey of every quarterback in Cleveland Brown history since they're
99.
back to Cleveland.
The most starts since 99?
Let me guess. Hold on. Is it Baker?
2 recognizable names. Baker Mayfield and Tim Couch.
Yeah.
59 are the most starts.
Baker has to be their most successful quarterback since 99.
Not even close.
Took him to an AFC title game?
Yeah.
Against the Chiefs? Or is that a division game?
I don't remember them being an AFC title game. Were they?
I think they were in the title game against the Chiefs on the road. I want to say that was the AFC title game. I think that was.
With Cleveland?
Or it was the divisional series. It was one of the two.
Divisional round?
It wasn't the wild card round.
They played in the conference. They last played in the conference championship game in 1989.
Okay, so it was divisionals.
You're saying against the Chiefs? 2020. Division round.
Okay.
I like how you call it the division series.
We were just talking baseball, so it's on my mind.
They won at Pittsburgh in the wild card and then lost to Kansas City. What's the score?
That was a close game.
Yeah, 22-17.
Yeah.
And they won 48-37 at Pittsburgh. But that was during COVID. Right? 2020 postseason? Was that before? That was before COVID. Thank you. Yeah.
Right
that was before COVID. You're exactly right.
Because guess what happened? That Super Bowl.
The one that was in Tampa?
No.
That was the year before.
The one that was in Miami.
Oh, with like COVID was like running around rampant, maybe?
COVID was just about it was like we were like
that's right.
A month away from COVID hitting hard.
I remember. Yeah.
You don't remember that Super Bowl?
No, I do.
What happened?
That big game.
Who lost?
Your team.
Yes, they did.
They blew a lead. That's what they did in the fourth quarter. They blew a 10-point lead.
There you go. Now you're remembering. Now it's
that's
back
all
to
their Super Bowls. So it's easy to it's easy to go down that path.
Yeah.
That was
the 2020
Jimmy
Super Bowl.
G.
That was Jimmy G. He missed a not wide open, but in the NFL it was wide open.
Right.
Emmanuel Sanders streaking down the middle of the field overthrew him, and that was that.
That was the 2020 season right before COVID. Yes.
It was the 2019 season, 2020.
Oh, it's the 2020. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I remember. Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the worst loss of your lifetime as a fan? Is that it, or is it the overtime game?
It's the overtime game.
Are those the two worst losses of your lifetime as a fan? Or Game 7 against the Cavs?
That's a good question.
Are those the three worst losses of your lifetime?
I would say overtime Super Bowl in no particular order. Overtime Super Bowl 2 years ago against the Chiefs in Vegas. Game 7, up 3-1.
Yep.
Kyrie hits the shot in Steph's face. I mean, that
did.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Side note, I was listening to a Bill Simmons clip the other day
About that.
He goes, that Game 7, that series alone, Draymond Green getting suspended changed the history of the NBA.
So what happens if it goes the other way? Let's say Warriors win 5. They're up 3-1, whatever. They win the series.
Draymond never gets suspended.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Warriors win the series. Draymond's not suspended.
Warriors go back to back. They have inarguably the greatest season in NBA
right,
history.
because they're coming off the greatest regular season. Yeah.
Yeah. KD does not go to the Warriors.
Right.
Does LeBron go to the Lakers because they didn't win a title with Cleveland?
Right.
LeBron now has only 3. Steph has 2. Going into the following year, Warriors are now favored again. Does Steph get a three-peat or not? Do the Cavs win the following
that is
year?
pretty fascinating.
What do the Lakers do? Right?
That's a good angle. I like that angle.
This is all coming from but
no,
Bill
it's
Simmons
interesting. It's
said,
interesting, yeah.
But there's so many tentacles there.
Yep, I agree.
Off of that one series that changed the course of the history of the NBA.
100% accurate. Yeah, so maybe that's the worst loss of your.
And it wasn't just Game 7. He was talking about an inflection point of Draymond Green punching LeBron in the cojones and getting suspended.
Yeah, he's been, that makes sense. Though.
That moment,
it's on brand.
That's the butterfly effect. Whoa, so many things happened. Anyway, so that Game 7, that series alone, up 3-1, Super Bowl in overtime, and not even the 2 other Super Bowl losses. It was the NFC title game at home against the New York Giants in Harbaugh's first year as their coach. In overtime, Kyle Williams fumbled a punt in Giants territory.
Yeah.
Giants recover. They do 2 plays, field goal for the win. That's it. And they went to beat the Patriots that year in the Super Bowl. And that wasn't the undefeated Patriots. Right. That was a Patriots team that was gettable. I thought that Niners team had the best defense that year.
Could have won the Super Bowl.
And I was like, they're gonna beat Tom Brady. It didn't happen.
Aren't sports fun?
No, they're not.
All right. We've got great giveaways for you today, including a pair of tickets to see the Aztecs Saturday night, senior night against San Jose State, and a family 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld San Diego's Christmas celebration. We'll give away those SeaWorld tickets on the other side. Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's offensive line coach, joins us at 4 p.m. Bernie Wilson at 5. This is Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer again, and there is no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer. They've got all kinds of new vehicles arriving each and every day. We're talking about their most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs. So whatever vehicle you're looking for, whatever kind of vehicle, you can hurry into your Toyota dealer today. If you're looking for a truck, now is a great time to grab a Toyota truck. They've got the largest inventory. We're talking about Tacomas and Tundras ready to roll. The Tacoma, known for its legendary toughness, off-road capability, everyday efficiency, perfect for weekend adventures or just tackling your to-do list. And then the Tundra, it brings serious power, impressive towing capacity, and bold design, plus the latest tech and comfort features. So whether you need a truck that's built for the trails or built for work or built for your family's next adventure, Toyota has you covered. Again, new vehicles arriving daily, including their most popular cars and trucks and SUVs. Toyota, we make it easy. See your Toyota dealer today.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. We'll start with the Aztecs as they got upset last night by Troy 108-107 in double overtime. Aztecs will now go to Las Vegas for the NIL tournament starting next Monday night, where they will take on Michigan in their first game. Moving over to SDFC, we have SDFC Midweek Live tonight at 6 p.m., 6 to 7, as the guys get you ready for their semifinal matchup next Monday night against Minnesota. And sad news of the day here in San Diego's former Padres great and Cy Young Award winner Randy Jones passed away at the age of 75. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't forget custom cards, invites, photo gifts, wrapping paper, and more. Staples. That was easy.
All right, Jon and Jim. Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's O-line coach, will join us at 4 p.m. We'll give away some Aztec tickets. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll give away a 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld San Diego's Christmas celebration. So the Mountain West has sent out clinching scenarios for the title game. All right?
Oh, you've been waiting for this, huh?
Because remember, there's still a possibility where 7 teams finish 5-3 in the league. It's the doomsday amazing scenario, and I have no clue what happens.
Is there like a sick part of you that really kind of wants that to happen?
No, because that means the Aztecs lose the last 2 games.
Okay.
But can you imagine if there were 7 teams at 5-3 in the same league? Like what?
Oh, what?
But here's the path for San Diego State to play in a championship game. They win their final 2 games. They host the Mountain West title. And then it gets tricky. If they win once, they'll need Hawaii, New Mexico, and UNLV each to lose once to host the championship game. There's some other scenarios as well, but like this is a lengthy document in terms of how teams can reach the Mountain West title game, including San Diego State. The good news for San Diego State is they control their destiny. It's in their hands. Win twice, again, easier said than done. Beat San Jose State, which just fired their defensive coordinator and special teams coordinators, coming off a 55-10 loss to Nevada.
Oh, nice.
Beat San Jose State and New Mexico, and they will host the Mountain West title game coming up in 2.5 weeks at Snapdragon Stadium. So they control their own destiny from there. There's some other scenarios where they could lose a game and host the championship game, but it's kind of there for the taking right now with 2 games to play. Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I am.
There's a lot in there.
There is a lot.
Probably too much, but you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Is it a little early for that? Maybe send it out next week.
Like, what is the trying to see like what team has the likeliest path if San Diego State were to take care of business to face them in the Mountain West Conference title?
That's a really good question. Right? Is it
like Boise State has a lot of things here that need to go their way
to host,
win final 2 games. San Diego State loses final 2 games.
Fresno, Hawaii, New
Nevada
Mexico
lose once. They host the championship game.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, what would be interesting is like let's say San Diego State hosts the championship game. Okay. Again,
okay.
We're looking ahead. Who would you want them to play? There's 6 other teams alive for that: Boise, Hawaii, UNLV, Fresno State, New Mexico, and Utah State.
I wouldn't want to face Boise.
Right. Agreed.
I wouldn't want to face Hawaii.
I don't know. Revenge, get them at home.
Yeah.
But I get it. It was 38-6.
I want to face Fresno State.
Oh, really? You want that oil can? You want the oil can to be on the line for a Mountain West title?
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Double oil can.
Yeah. The same. That's.
Has that ever happened? The double.
No.
Playing for the oil can twice in a year.
They've never met in a Mountain West title game. San Diego State and Fresno State. So really good point. No.
What about Utah State?
They haven't faced this year.
They would need a lot to go right for them.
Look at they're like
win
at
the
that.
final 2 games. Boise, Fresno, Hawaii, San Diego lose final 2 games. And New Mexico wins final 2 games. Nevada or
UNLV
Las Vegas loses to Nevada.
It makes no sense.
It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
If Utah State, Las Vegas, San Diego State all finished at 5-3.
Computers
decide.
Right?
Are they gonna do a coin flip in a parking lot, or is that only in high school football in Texas?
That was pretty funny, wasn't it? Yeah. So I guess the simple answer is just keep winning.
Yep, that would be the simple answer.
So keep winning again. Senior night, Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. pregame coverage, beginning at 5:30. We'll give away a pair of tickets coming up. again in the 4 o'clock hour, and we'll give away some tickets to SeaWorld San Diego's Christmas celebration coming up in about 5 or so minutes as well. So we'll do that. We started the day talking about Randy Jones. I thank you, Mike Usher, for sending this along. You know about Randy Jones's career success against Pete Rose?
Yeah.
Like the ridiculous success of his career, where, listen to this. Randy Jones faced Pete Rose 93 times, okay? Yet Pete Rose hit just a $183. I mean, think about that. The hit king hit just a $183 off Randy Jones. And among one of the notes in here is that he found it so hard to hit him that he even turned around and batted from the opposite side in an effort to hit Randy Jones, which is a really cool note. But I mean, he hit 183. Pete Rose, whatever he hit for his career, however many hits he had, some ridiculous total in 93 career plate appearances against Randy Jones. Pete Rose hit just a $183. Pretty remarkable.
That's ownage right there.
Right?
Ownage is ownage.
It's kind of like the opposite with the Tony Gwynn numbers against some of the Hall of Fame pitchers that he faced in his career.
Yeah, Tony owned the Hall of Fame pitchers.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of that is what I would say.
Like against John Smoltz and like Maddox,
exactly.
Glavine. He
Yeah.
was hit like 320 against all those guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like Pete Rose, 303 lifetime hitter, 4,256 hits. And again, it's just kind of, it is interesting when you look back and you see some of these like statistics from 2 generations ago, maybe 3, right? You go back to the mid 1970s, everything looks different, man. All the stats look different. The sheer number of innings thrown. I mean, to throw 300 innings in any season is completely unheard of. It was commonplace in the 1970s. And that's Randy Jones was a true inning eater. And look at his two All-Star seasons and that Cy Young season. I mean, you can't even replicate that anymore. It's not possible.
Well, look at Jim threw out earlier in the show that he had like 25 complete games in that one season.
Yeah.
There's guys,
Right.
they won't even have 25 complete games for their entire career, and they might pitch for 15, 16 seasons.
You're right.
Randy Jones had 73 complete games in his entire career.
Right. Nobody's touching that.
And by the way, his 76 Cy Young year,
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue it wasn't even his best season because his 75 year, he had a 7.5 WAR. He was 20-12 with a 2.24 ERA, led the league in ERA, 18 complete games, 36 starts that year, 285 innings pitched, 103 strikeouts.
Dude, that is insane. That is insane.
Like what?
Well, he finished second in Cy Young voting that year and then won it the next year.
He had a 1.046 whip in 1975.
Yeah, it's just looking at the baseball reference page like you and I are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it just like odd to look at?
Right. You see those 2 years and you're like, huh?
It's just not just the 2 years, but just I'm looking at like innings,
I know.
strikeouts, wins,
Yeah.
losses. He had a 22 loss season in
Yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah.
You know?
8-22.
Yeah.
And then he parlay and he went and turned that around to a 20-12 season and
The
a
next
2020 or 22-14 season. He had a good 78 year, 2.88 ERA, 7 complete games, 36 starts, 253 innings.
Yeah.
1979, 3.63 ERA, 39 starts, 6 complete games, 263 innings pitched. He only pitched until 32 years old.
Yeah, he was traded after the 1980 season to the Mets, pitched a couple of years for the Mets, and won 100 games in the major leagues, won a Cy Young. And that's a really kind of truly remarkable career. Again, I go back to like how many pitchers are able to make that type of impact like Randy Jones did maybe post-playing days with the franchise. You know what I mean? Like this is a really good pitcher that had a couple of standout seasons, but the legacy probably is beyond what he did on the field, obviously, over these last 50 years. I think that's kind of the point. There's been pitchers that have won 100 games or won a Cy Young, but they're not as recognizable with a franchise as Randy Jones would be with the Padres.
I'm just looking at the Cy Young voting that year.
Yeah.
Randy Jones.
Tom Seaver, maybe?
Randy Jones had 15 first place votes. Can you guess who finished second?
Tom Seaver.
No. Tom Seaver actually finished 8th.
It was the year he won it. The year he finished second, maybe Tom Seaver won it. Who finished second in the National League?
You'll never.
Cy Young votes in
If you were
1975.
Hartman, you would guess it in 2 seconds. But you're.
If I was what?
Said if you were Hartman, you would have
Yeah.
named off every single player.
I'll say Steve Carlton.
No. Steve Carlton finished 4th. Jerry Kuzman
I like that name.
finished 2nd,
Okay.
21-10 that year. Don Sutton finished 3rd.
Okay.
Carlton 4th. Raleigh Eastwick.
Oh, remember him?
Yeah, he was great. Finished 5th. John Matlack finished 6th. J.R. Richard finished 7th. Tom Seaver finished 8th. That was the year that Mark Fidrich burst on the scene.
30 wins? At some point, maybe not that year.
19-9 with a 2.34 ERA for the Detroit Tigers. He had a 9.6 WAR that year.
He's the last 30-game winner in baseball.
Yeah, he finished 2nd in AL Cy Young voting behind Jim Palmer.
This is like the Hartman show. All right.
It is.
On the other side, again, we'll continue this conversation. Plus, coming up at 4 p.m., we're talking some Aztec football with our O-line coach, Mike Schmidt. But call right now if you want a family 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld San Diego's Christmas celebration. Caller 6. You have a free family 4-pack of tickets. 877-767-4760. Again, 877-767-4760. Caller 6, a free family 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld San Diego's Christmas celebration. Twinkling Lights meet Ocean Delights, November 14th through January 4th. You can experience the magic of the season, meet incredible animals like belugas, penguins, and sea otters. Plus, check out a winter wonderland with a million dazzling lights and the all-new Clyde and Seymour's Christmas. Tickets and more at SeaWorldSanDiego.com. Mike Schmidt at 4 p.m., Bernie Wilson on Randy Jones at 5 p.m. This is Jon and Jim. Hey guys, it is Jon and Jim again for our friends at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. As you know by now open the hotel and spa at Hamul. It is the next level of luxury. You can treat yourself to a stunning new stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, and all the thrills of Hamul Casino Resort, now all in one unforgettable destination.
Yeah, and savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at Hamul 23. From their world-famous lobster brunch served every morning to the luxurious VIP endless dining experience each evening. You can indulge in chef-created specialties, fresh seafood, prime cuts, and decadent desserts, all with stunning panoramic views.
Make sure to check out the spa. It is now open. You can unwind in style, experience pure relaxation, indulgent treatments, serene spaces, and a retreat designed to refresh your body and mind. Only at Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 with you until 6 p.m. tonight. And then we have SDFC Midweek Live, Jim, as you've been maybe mentioning.
I have no idea. I have been mentioning.
Have you?
Yeah.
Brent? He says yes. Okay.
Yeah.
When
Not everyone, but yeah, he's mentioned it.
So when I do my updates,
I'm checked out until you screw something up, which is basically every update. And that's when I'm usually honing in.
Because I mean, it's kind of incredible how like when I'll talk during my update and I could say anything, and you won't have a clue. And I'm 2 feet away from you.
But I hear when you start really struggling and stumbling, you're like, make sure to cash in your check. Potluck dinner. What? I mean, Visa's now offering. Wait, what? This doesn't even make any sense.
I don't say that. There will be times
That's the part that I catch.
Yeah, because it's so obvious.
Or the other things that I catch when I do listen in, I'll let you do your update. And I'm like, you failed to mention like the NFL is like moving the Super Bowl to London. Like you'll do an update. Like you failed to mention that the Padres like won the World Series. That's not realistic.
No, it's not.
But I mean, I'm kind of fascinated by your updates because I don't do updates, right? I've had to every once in a while. You like go to the bathroom and like don't come back and you lose track of time. Or there's like a challenge. You're like, you do the update and I do the update. But when Brent does the updates, for example, like he puts a lot of effort into them.
I don't know if I'd say a lot.
Okay, I put
some effort into it.
He tapes them often.
I don't do that anymore. I've gotten good enough. I've stopped taping them.
Here's the thing. We've had this conversation before. All right. You know.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I care about updates?
Well, if you want to play the 1 to 10 game in general, you might end up on the low scale of a lot of things. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I would put you in the 1 range
of updates.
Well, just in general.
What about the show?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably put you in that same category. No, I mean, with the updates. Listen, I get it. It's you got to pick your spots. So the updates aren't the spot you've necessarily picked.
No,
right? I do like when you just do it on the fly.
They're just a means to an end. Like, hey, just here's the updates.
Do you think there's a lot of listeners in general, not necessarily just to our show, but are there listeners when they're driving around that hear updates today and hear something they're not aware of? Just in general, like if you're driving around Sunday morning and you're listening to like a Fox Sports Radio national update, do you typically catch something that is unique? Oh, I didn't realize that the Broncos lead 14-0 in London.
Here's what I take away from national updates, and it happens during the show after us, which is The Odd Couple, I think it's still what it's called. Whoever does the updates for nationally for that show, she's awful. Like maybe worse than me. And that's saying something. I'm pretty bad, but I don't care. That's the thing. I don't care. She cares.
John, remember she did call it Seton Hall that one day.
Seton Hall, yeah, Seton Hall, which was unique.
But that's also something I would probably do too.
I could see that.
That's true.
That would
do you know where Seton Hall is?
Yes, I love this game.
No, Seton Hall is.
This should almost replace Team John versus Team Jim.
It really should, dude.
Somewhere
the Jim Russell Collegiate
on the East Coast.
Geography bee.
It's on the East Coast. So where is it?
That's correct.
It's in Seton Hall.
Name a state. You have to for the game.
Pennsylvania.
The Seton Hall, Pennsylvania Pirates?
I don't know.
It's in South Orange, New Jersey, which touches Newark, New Jersey, which touches New York City.
Which touches Pennsylvania.
Not necessarily South Orange. It's like on the water. It's like on the Atlantic.
But Jersey touches PA.
And California touches Utah. Are we talking to Mammoth fans tonight? You know the Mammoth?
Do I? Of course I do.
NHL team in Utah.
Mammoth fans, let me hear you.
Exactly. I don't even know how we got there.
You asked me if I was mentioning SDFC Midweek Live in my updates, and I said, of course I have. You don't listen to anything I do.
Hold on. One more trivia question. This is just fun. What is Seton Hall's all-time claim to athletic fame? What is their greatest accomplishment in school history? I mean, I know that's a little ambiguous. You're looking at me like, well, what are you talking? But when I say it, it's like it's not subjective. It's a factual thing. What's their best sports success.
Winning a national championship,
No, but close.
getting to a Final Four.
Yes, with PJ Carlissimo. 1989, they lost to Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher in the
Michigan.
Kingdom in the national championship game in overtime.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the ending of that game?
Maybe.
You need to see it.
That was when Steve Fisher took over the Michigan team in the middle of that season or
At
close
the
to the end of the season.
season.
End of the season. And it took him on to
6 wins.
win the national championship.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Because a Michigan man will coach Michigan is the famous line from Bo Schembechler, who was the AD when that played out. So kind of, fascinating story. Anyway, Seton Hall lost the 1989 national championship game to Michigan.
Well, I was born in 1989, so I don't.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that. John.
What were you guys doing? That you guys weren't watching?
I was not watching. No, I was doing other things, John.
Anyway, the point is the updates are critically important for our listeners. It's not the point. It's really not the point. They're not.
If we had like a designated update person,
I kind of like that. I like that.
Let's be real here.
We're
not hiring anybody.
I can see it happening.
No one's spending money on an update.
An update. I feel like back in the day, an update thing was. Here's the thing.
We had Ernie here for the longest time,
That's right.
and when you have a designated update person,
Got sound in there.
Show sounds bigger, but we don't have that. So a little bit of a problem.
But here's the thing. Maybe we could make you the designated update guy.
No,
You could just do updates. You don't have to do anything else. Just do updates.
I don't even want to do updates.
I know. Real surprise. Wow. That's a shocker. It's an unbelievable shocker. All right. Mike Schmidt's going to join us on the other side. San Diego State's offensive line coach. Played at San Diego State. Coached at San Diego State. Left, has returned for a second stint. And he's leading an offensive line and a run game unit that has been unbelievable for San Diego State here in 2025. So Mike Schmidt joins us on the other side. And after our conversation, we'll give away 2 tickets to Saturday night's game at Snapdragon, San Diego State, and San Jose State. So we'll do that on the other side. Then more in the passing of Randy Jones with Bernie Wilson, who covered, obviously, the Padres for a long time. Bernie Wilson will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We are here until 6, SDFC Midweek Live, coming up tonight at 6 p.m. as well with Darren Smith and Adrian Garcia Marquez. But Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's offensive line coach, joins us next on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. We'll start with the Aztecs last night. They were upset by Troy 108-107 in double overtime. The Aztecs will now head to Las Vegas for the NIL tournament starting on Monday of next week, where they will take on Michigan in their opening round game. Michigan is ranked number 7 in the country. SDFC Midweek Live tonight at 6 p.m., John, 6 to 7 as the guys get you ready for SDFC versus Minnesota in the semifinals of the MLS Cup playoffs. And sad news of the day today here in San Diego, former Padres great and Cy Young Award winner Randy Jones passed away today at the age of 75. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't forget custom cards, invites, photo gifts, wrapping paper, and more. Staples, that was easy.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of Jon and Jim, and we're joined right now by San Diego State's offensive line coach and Aztec for life, Mike Schmidt. What a resurgence it's been with that run game and the O-line here in 2025 for the 8-2 Aztecs. And by the way, after this conversation, we're giving away 2 tickets for Saturday night, senior night at Snapdragon Stadium as the Aztecs host San Jose State. So first of all, Coach, we appreciate you taking time for us. And then secondly, what has been from your seat, watching this offensive line evolve, watching this offense evolve, what's been the big key, the big difference this year coming off last year with this group?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, John. I appreciate you guys' support of the Aztec football program and all that, and kind of looking at the whole thing holistically. You know, when I got back 2 years ago and kind of seeing where that roster was, you know, there was a little carryover from my first stint with some of the players I had previously recruited. I think we did a good job in retaining the ones we needed to that we felt could help us win games in this conference and had the physical traits we were looking for and all that. We did a good job retaining those guys, and then just the additions we made in the room. You know, we got since the time I got here in February. You know, there's a lot of backups that have been brought in that time, and then there's 3 key contributors that we've hit on. And Joe Borjon, the starting right tackle, we hit on Bio Kaniki out of Utah Tech, and then I had a previous relationship with the left guard there, Kalen Ellis, from my time at Syracuse, and really getting the right pieces in the room. And then just this year, you know, and being able to stay healthy has really developed that room. And I think, you know, if you go out there and watch us on a Saturday, it looks like a similar front than what people are used to around here for the 9-10 years. I was the O-line coach here before. And I think, you know, winning the line of scrimmage gives our guys a chance. And I think we got dynamic backs behind us that are doing a good job as well, you know, finding space and making the extra hat miss at times, and I think things are starting to gel, and just proud of the work the players have done. First of all, you know,
I feel like in the offseason, Coach, there was a lot of emphasis on improving the offensive line. Last year's offensive line play, some could say, was maybe a weakness of the team, or it wasn't a strength of the team like it is this year. And to see how the offensive line has performed this season, how proud are you of the success so far to this point that your offensive line has had, knowing you guys put so much work into the offseason to make sure this offensive line was much improved?
Yeah, we put a lot of work into that room, and Coach Lewis is a big believer in that position. That's why some of those guys are here, and the resources that we've poured into them, and I think that's the most important part is top down emphasis in that room. Those guys have stayed healthy this year, and you know, it's something we always talk about. Like we've had some ups, you know, mostly ups this year, and a few downs. Like we didn't play up to standard over there on the island a couple of weeks back, and I think these guys are responding to challenges, and I think there's good pride in that room. You know, when I came back, I brought back a bunch of old players and guys who went on and played at the next level, and those groups were relevant on the West Coast. And I think that's one thing I've kind of been fighting with these guys is hey man, like people got to turn on our tape and you want to be relevant in this game, and in order to be relevant, you got to be able to sustain it through a season. And that's what we're battling right now. Like we're going to have a stretch here the next two, hopefully, in the conference championship game as well, to show that we are relevant. And I think the guys have bought into that, and they're fighting to be the best group in this league.
Mike Schmidt, Aztec for life, San Diego State's offensive line coach, second stint on the Mesa. So much success over the years with the run game. Coach, take us through just like, go back to Boise, for example, imposing your will as a run blocker. Obviously, both are critically important, run blocking and pass blocking. What's it like for your group when they know, you're going to run it 50 plus times and you had the success like you had this past week where you run it for 6 yards a carry?
Yeah, I think the guys kind of knew it going in what the conditions were going to be. The first couple drives, and I think you got to it's just like making a putt at times, man. You got to see that first one go in, right, and then that third drive out, we popped that run for about 40, and it started giving us confidence, and then really from there on out, we identified what they were doing on defense because it was different. They were playing in different conditions, and certain personnel groupings were really good. Others where we got sputtered to drive before were not as good. So we learned a little bit those first couple drives out how they were going to play us. The guys got confidence in how they were playing us in certain sets, and we allowed them to keep their feet underneath them, drive knees, and have the success that we had the other night. Because that's a big physical front that we went up against, who usually can hold a team at bay running the football. They were so one dimensional. And our guys took it. They took the challenge and kept battling that whole night. And it was good to see the backs get loose. And the backs did a great job just bouncing off tackles and playing that grimy game as well.
So getting to San Jose State this weekend, they have a new defensive coordinator. What are some challenges that you might face this Sunday, knowing that there's a new defensive coordinator on the other side of the ball? Or is it mostly about just what you guys do up front?
I think that's the most thing. And when you get this late in the year, you got a lot of analytics and stuff that you've been diving into from a run game perspective, where whether it's us being able to fit it up, the running backs, their comfort level in the certain track that they're running. So we have to rely on our successes, what we do well, and the reps that have accumulated over the year. Because really playing defense into certain formations, there's only so many ways a defense is going to line up. Right. Now there's certain pressures, certain movements and stuff like that. But as long as you protect those runs with different outs on the perimeter and you rep all the stuff they've been doing through the year, they might have a movement, they might have a line stunt that you got to work throughout the course of the game. But that's no different every week. Every defense is going to have a little something different for you each week, and you got to be able to solve the problem on the sideline as well. So that'll be part of the challenge. They're still 9 games into this thing too. So how much can they change in a 5-6 day work week as well? So probably structurally not different, but there will be some tweaks and adjustments that we're going to have to make come Saturday night.
Mike Schmidt with us right now, Aztec for life, San Diego State's offensive line coach. So you've had a senior night. You've coached in many a senior night, whether it be at San Diego State or elsewhere. Saturday night against San Jose State, you have it coming up. What goes into that? Like making sure that, you have your emotions in check. You celebrate this group that has led to all of the success, but you make sure you take care of the task at hand as well.
Yeah, no doubt. And I told the guys the day after practice, we've had a lot of really good offensive lines around here during my time, and the ones that I still communicate with and then the ones that are still the tightest together are the ones who had the most special year, right? So there's nothing better than we're in a championship race right now. Like we put ourselves in this position. We got to attack this thing the right way. Obviously honor the seniors that have put so much time and effort. Like you got Ross, who's going on really his 6th year here. You got Christian Jones, same thing. And we got to honor those guys the right way. But at the same time, know that, man, like you're going to remember this season the rest of your life if we finish this thing out the right way, and I think that's the message to those guys. And we are in a championship race where the last couple of years here, we have not had that opportunity, and we're back in the saddle, and we got to finish this thing out the wrong way to make this senior year, the senior night, the most special season they've ever had competing playing football.
Obviously job's not finished yet, but just speak on what Sean Lewis has done here and how he's taken this program from just 3 wins last year to where you guys are now, have your sights set on a Mountain West Conference championship.
Yeah, I think if you're in the office with him daily, it wouldn't surprise you the way he works, and not just the football side of things and the operation of, the organization that we have here as a staff and the players have, the routine we can get in just to let us focus on the job at hand. But just the way he works at everything, he's across campus trying to get student engagement. He's active everywhere. He's really built up an NIL collective here, where there wasn't much when we first got here, and he's busted his tail there to find the right supporters and the guys who are committed to this program. And so there's the way he works, and he's always the first one in here, man, and last one out of here. So there was no surprise that he was going to get it turned around. And I'm just fired up that he gave me an opportunity to come back home and get to know him and work with him and show him I can get the job done for him.
I want to finish on that point. For you getting back home, I mean, what has this experience? You've had a unique coaching career, because it's not every day that a coach spends as much time at one place and then has a chance to return to that place. So what has this experience been like for you the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I had one son born here, my first stint, and then another one was born in Syracuse, New York. And then 2 months later after he was born, I was in Starkville, Mississippi. And then 9 months after that, we're back in San Diego all together. So it's really a credit to my family and them sticking together and by my side and all that. It's probably been harder on them than it has for me, because all I do is wake up, come to work and get going. And then in the off season, I'm doing the recruiting part of everything and all that. So it's been a unique experience. I was just, when I got fired for the first time out there in Mississippi and was pretty fired up. 2 weeks later, Coach Lewis gave me a call and had an opportunity for me. And there's no place I'd rather be than back home. And the reason I left the first time was really for personal growth and being at the same spot, and felt a little stagnant with the coaching change from, going from Rocky to Brady and all that, and just wanted to go out there and see what was out there. And I'm so thankful for those years, because I had to get out of my comfort zone, right? And that's how I coach offensive linemen. I don't ever want them to be comfortable. And I felt like the first thing I got a little comfortable there toward the end and wanted to go grow. And I think that's exactly what I did over those 3 years in different environments.
Well, you can go home again, as you have proven here over the last couple of years, working with this group at San Diego State. Mike Schmidt, again, Aztecs offensive line coach and Aztec for life. All right, we're going to ask you to pick a number, because whatever number you pick is going to be our caller to win free tickets for Saturday night. So pick a number from, let's say, 1 to 15.
Let's go 14.
14. I love that. All right. How come 14? Curious. Just because?
It was closest to 15, and that was the last number you said.
All right, caller 14.
I would say like 95.
Yeah, 1 to 99. Caller 14 to 877-767-4760 has 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs Saturday night against San Jose State at 7:30. Senior night for the 8-2 Aztecs. Coach Schmidt, appreciate it. Best of luck in your preparation. We'll see you this weekend, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right, great stuff from Mike Schmidt. Again, caller 14 to 877-767-4760 has 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs take on San Jose State. We'll get to the wrap on the other side. Bernie Wilson will join us at 5 p.m. This is Jon and Jim. All right, Sean Lewis Show. Tomorrow at 6, right here on San Diego Sports 760. Me and Rich Orenberger sit down with the head coach of the Aztecs. We'll get you ready for senior night at Snapdragon Stadium Saturday against San Jose State at 7:30. But the Sean Lewis Show is tomorrow at 6 on your home for the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760. I have turned the page for San Diego State basketball to Michigan. I'm watching Michigan Middle Tennessee State tonight, obviously, from Ann Arbor at the Chrysler Center. So I've turned the page to number 7, Michigan, which has nothing to do with Sean Lewis. I don't think Sean Lewis is overly concerned about Michigan's basketball team. He's more concerned about his football team. But from a basketball perspective, I'm turning the page. All right, Bernie Wilson.
That's good to know, John.
Yeah, I'm turning the page. Bernie Wilson will join us coming up at 5 p.m. right now. Brent, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
There's John and there's Bob Seeger turning the page. Guys, can San Diego State bounce back and beat Michigan?
Oh, yeah, speaking of Michigan.
Yeah, they can bounce back. But will they bounce back and will they beat me? I mean, we'll have to see. The one thing I do know is they'll be an angry team come Monday night, a team that wants to go out there and play a much better brand of basketball than what they did last night against Troy. I mean, I want to say that the Troy loss is a blessing in disguise, but hey, who knows? They could easily go out on Monday night and lay an egg. So they have the capability to beat Michigan, I feel like. But Michigan's also a really good basketball team.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, I hope we don't say San Diego State laid an egg, so to speak, against Michigan. And I hope, if nothing else, they give the Wolverines a really good game, win or lose. But I'm with you. I think they'll be very focused, would be my guess, because of what happened last night and because of the importance of these games starting Monday night against the University of Michigan.
I just hope it goes better than the last time we played Michigan.
Yeah, that was at Chrysler. I was there 4 years ago. Remember Dutcher against his former player, Juwan Howard. I think 72-58. Michigan won that game. It's the only meeting, by the way, in San Diego State history against Michigan. It was, I think, in 2021, December of 2021. I agree with you, Brent. Next question.
Were you guys impressed by LeBron in the season debut last night?
What do you do, like 11 points, 13 assists?
11 points, 12 assists.
Oh,
in
my bad.
30 minutes, they beat Utah by 14 or 16 points. They scored 140 points last night. The Lakers. Have you broken down any of his film?
No, I just heard him complain about his sciatica post game.
How many games do you think he'll play in the regular season?
55.
So he missed how many? They played 14 games?
14 he missed.
Yeah, okay, he missed 14. Yeah, I'm with you. If he misses another 10 to 15, he'd be in that mid-50s range, potentially. I don't know if I was impressed, but I've been impressed by the Lakers. You know, now you get LeBron back, and they've gotten off to a really good start.
The thing with the Lakers is they're dangerous. Not because, like, their team is deep. They got 3 guys on their team that can get their shot off at any point in the game, and then they can all go out there and score whenever they want. And that's Austin Reeves, which is crazy to say. It's Luka. It's LeBron. When you have that, you're going to be good, because that's what today's NBA is about. So yeah, I mean, they're a good basketball team for sure. I don't know if they can beat the Thunder. I don't know if anybody can beat the Thunder.
Right. It's so early to even have that conversation. Next question.
Is Saturday's Aztec football game against San Jose State a trap game? It's a trap.
Why? Because they're so close to the end of the season. They got New Mexico next weekend.
Maybe it's New Mexico 7-3.
I thought Hawaii you could dub as a trap game because they knew Boise was on the other side of that.
Yeah, there's that. I'm just worried because San Jose State fired their defensive coordinator and their special teams coordinator and lost 55-10 last week to Nevada. I just feel like they're kind of due for some type of bounce back. It's a classic nothing to lose game for San Jose State. They can't make a bowl game. They're 3-7 overall. A little bit like Troy basketball coming in here last night. It's like they had nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. And they played that way. They played free and loose. Will San Jose State pull out all the trickeration? Will they go for it on 4th downs? Will they fake punts? They have nothing to lose. They're 3-7.
I don't think it's a trap game. I don't. I think it's senior night here. Aztecs are undefeated at home.
Yeah,
it's like really good football at Snapdragon Stadium this year. I don't think it's a trap game. I hope you're right. I could make an argument that next weekend's a trap game because you're so close to hosting a Mountain West Conference title game. But
if
even
you
then,
need
it's like we need to go out and win this game to control. We
Yeah.
control our own destiny. I thought the trap game was Hawaii.
Yeah, maybe. Next question.
Will Shedeur Sanders throw for 300 yards on Sunday against the Raiders?
I thought the question would be, will
This
Shedeur
season?
Sanders throw 300 yards this season?
Last 8 games. Or
Come on, he's got first team reps this week. He's going to do that in the first half.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he had 47 yards in his first game out.
I mean, it's the Raiders.
I don't think he's gonna. You know, it's gonna. It is. Look, if you want to make your season debut, your NFL starting debut, you couldn't pick probably a better team than the Las Vegas Raiders.
And I feel like maybe that's why they're doing it.
Well, they're also doing it because Dylan Gabriel has a concussion.
Well, I mean, I guess they maybe had to do it,
They had to, yeah.
but just in general, it does fit well that it's the Raiders and not, I don't know, like at Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Or like just in a scenario
Or
where
at
you're setting
Denver.
up the player to completely fail.
At Denver against one of the best defenses, if not the best defenses in the NFL.
I mean, it will be interesting. Here's the thing: you make starts in the NFL, like you'll have a good start. Like if he's given the opportunity to, let's say, make 4 or 5 starts, he could have a good game. I mean, he's going to make 4 or 5 starts. So maybe against and what are people going to say if he's good? Are they going to say Josina Anderson was right?
Probably.
If he goes out there and throws for 309 and 3 touchdowns, leads the Browns to their 3rd win this weekend.
I know one person that will be tweeting a lot will be Josina Anderson. That's for sure. She is going to make sure to tweet the hell out of this game.
No matter what happens.
She'll be like, look what he did with first team reps. I was right all along.
Right. That's exactly right. Okay. What do
Who
you got?
tweets it first, her or Dion?
Dion doesn't really tweet.
Oh, he will if he goes out and
Might.
balls on Sunday.
I didn't even know like he had an account. I guess they're so active that I guess that makes sense that he's on social media. I hadn't even thought about it. Okay, on the other side, again, coming up at 5 p.m., Bernie Wilson will join us. We'll talk more about the passing of Randy Jones. Earlier, we talked about what would it be like if you were listening to San Diego State basketball at the same time as SDFC, because they both play on Monday. What would that sound like? We'll tell you on the other side here until 6 p.m. Stay with us. It's Jon and Jim.
This update's brought to you by Staples Stores. San Diego State last night losing to Troy 108-107 in double overtime. Aztecs, they now have to wait to their next game on Monday against Michigan in the NIL tournament in Las Vegas. They also will take on Oregon in the tournament as well. Moving over to SDFC Midweek Live, which is tonight at 6 p.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760. And sad news today in San Diego's former Padres great Randy Jones passed away at the age of 75. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't forget custom cards, invites, photos, gifts, wrapping paper, and more. Staples, that was easy.
All right, Bernie Wilson coming up at 5 p.m. If you missed our conversation with Aztec offensive line coach Mike Schmidt, you'll hear that as well at 5:30. So we've been mentioning the fact that SDFC plays Monday night. And we've mentioned the fact, as Jim just told you in this update, that San Diego State will play Michigan on Monday night, trying to bounce back from last night against Troy. So, Brent, you put together what it would actually sound like if you were listening to both of these at the same time.
Shot good job there by Luca Bombino going for Chucky. Chucky
goes up for him, and he slams it down. Really impressive.
San Diego
Perverted confidence. Just got to read each other's body language to put that home.
Taken from Irving Lozano, and he does the rest.
I understood everything. Honestly, it's fine.
Yeah. What's the problem?
What is the problem?
Why don't we air both of them? Now that I've heard that, why don't we just air them both on 760 at the same time?
Let's do that. Hey, Mike, can we
Commercials too.
can we just air everything at the same time on top of each other?
Like one out of the left car speaker and another out of the right card speaker
Perfect.
on Monday night.
That won't be awful to listen to at all.
What was what's the latest here on SDFC? We had a situation we talked about with Chucky where he was banged up, right? This past week.
Yeah.
And then there was the reporting on it was that Andres Dreyer was dealing with flu-like symptoms or sickness.
Yeah, he's sick.
Missed a couple of so not ideal. Now, with all that being said, they still have time. I mean, it's only Wednesday. They're still 5 days away from playing. So they still have time, I guess, to ramp up for this match. Is that concerning at all to you, what they've been dealing with here in the days leading up to this match?
I mean, it's not ideal. It's one of those situations where you want everything to be perfect heading into your semifinal match, you know, where you're 3 wins away from a championship. But I mean, everyone's got to deal with something. We'll see what the availability of Chucky is on Monday. We'll see how Anders is feeling come Monday. I mean, it's bound to happen to you know teams where they have to overcome adversity, and San Diego FC is no different.
I don't know in front of me, and again, Darren and Adrian are coming up at 6 p.m. I don't know exactly what they did against Minnesota this year, San Diego. But I feel like they had success because, well, they went 19-9 overall this year with 6 draws, so they were good in general. I want to say they won at Minnesota this year during that crazy run where they were just winning every match on the road. So I feel like they've had a level of success against Minnesota. Win or go home is what it is.
I can tell you what they did against Minnesota, John.
Awesome.
If my phone
That'd be wonderful.
Loads. Here we go. Let's see here. All right, when did they play Minnesota?
Okay, so you can't tell me, but
No, I can't. I'm looking right now. Don't worry. I got this. Just give me a little time. All right. They won at Minnesota on June 14th, 4-2.
okay.
All right.
Kind of remember that. Yeah.
Then is that it?
No, I feel like they played twice.
Then they lost to Minnesota here.
Oh, did they?
3-1.
Oh, that's right. Darren mentioned that with us.
Yes.
Darren mentioned that with us in some. Or it might have been on the air as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so they split with Minnesota this year, with each team winning on the opponent's home field.
Right.
And Minnesota has already won in this building once this year.
So it's the classic. Well, we won at your place. They won at our place. Now it's the decisive third game between both teams, and we'll see what happens. Monday
Something
night.
has to give.
Something has to give, John.
Something has to give. So
there will be a winner and there will be a loser.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'll be honest with you. Maybe someone like I don't know what they do in this round in terms of do they go straight to PKs or do they play extra time? I would assume they play extra time.
Good question.
Mike Usher, come in here and let me know.
Do they play extra time?
He's listening to this conversation.
Extra time or not?
This is going to be fascinating.
Just yes or no? Extra time or no?
Just to tell us. They go straight to penalties after 90 minutes? Okay.
I don't like
Interesting.
it.
Yeah, I don't love that. I don't love that format because I feel like it does incentivize the team that might be either upset-minded or on the road to do everything in their power to not, to basically pack it in, so to speak, right? But it's been hard to do against SDFC, though.
Parking the bus.
Park the bus.
I'll park the bus.
All right. Well, that's coming up again Monday night at 7 p.m. Excuse me. You can hear it right here. You can hear it on
Jammin' 95.7.
Jammin' 95.7.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our sister station.
Bernie Wilson will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We've been talking again about the passing of Randy Jones. We've also been talking about the Aztecs last night against Troy. I'll tell you what, I have seen basically every Aztec game over the last 9 seasons. I've never seen a game like that. Win or lose, not like that, not in that manner, not home, not road, not anywhere. That doesn't remind me of the Final Four game against FAU. It doesn't remind me of games they played in the Maui Invitational. It was entirely unique to itself to play a game that had 215 points that went to double overtime, that had a shot from half court. I haven't seen it. I haven't. And now it's like, well, they didn't win it, unfortunately, and we'll see what it means on the other side. But it was a unicorn game. I haven't seen anything like it.
We got more information.
This round they start 2 15-minute.
Unbelievable.
Well, start the show over.
All right. So they don't go straight to penalty kicks. They have 2 15-minute extra sessions before penalty kicks.
Okay.
Start the show. Get back to 2 p.m.
Yeah. Can we go till 8?
Yeah. Now we have to go an extra 3 hours.
Yeah. We'll just redo the first 2.5 hours of the show.
We're such morons.
Idiots.
Gosh.
Idiots, I tell you. We are those people.
Lord.
Morons.
Yeah. So I haven't seen a game like we saw last night.
Have you ever called a game like that before?
No, I haven't. I mean, I figured once Bird hit that shot, they were going to win the game.
So if we're to put together all of the games you've called in your entire professional career,
right?
Baseball leads the way, correct? You've called more baseball games than anything, right?
Yeah, I probably called like 1,500 minor league baseball games.
What have you called?
1,400 too many.
Yeah, well, there you go. What have you called more of? Football or basketball?
Okay. So yeah, I've probably called. I mean, I did some random spots.
What was your first basketball game you ever called?
Longwood University in Farmville, Virginia.
That's right. You're Mr. Longwood.
I'd never called a basketball game in my life, and they hired me to do their Division I games. Their first year, they went 1-30.
That's right. I remember I had that conversation with you.
They lost to number 1 Illinois in Champaign. Darren Williams, Luther Head, D. Williams. Team lost the national championship game to UNC.
Luther Head?
Yeah.
Was on Longwood?
No, it was on Illinois. They lost to number 1 Illinois in Champaign that year. They went 1-30. Then I called games at NJIT in Newark, New Jersey.
Didn't Longwood do something recently where this conversation got brought up? Or I called those games.
We had the coach on a couple of years ago.
Right. He was at Longwood.
Yeah, because they made the NCAA tournament for the first time. And I've called hundreds and hundreds of basketball games. And I've called dozens and dozens of football games. But I don't think I've ever called a game like last night. And I figured they would just find a way, right?
I did too.
After the half court shot, they're going to find a way.
And they go up by 4. They score the first 2 buckets of overtime. And then you had that illegal Magoon Gwath screen.
Yeah, moving screen.
Which was not an illegal screen, by the way.
Tough call.
Because Magoon is set. He's like 9 feet tall. The defender is like 5 feet tall.
Right.
And he runs into Magoon's leg. Like his basically his waist area, trips the guy. It's like, what's Magoon supposed to do? He can't get up much lower. He's 12 feet tall.
Right. It
was an awful call. And then I think that kind of shifted the first overtime. Second overtime, I can't really remember much. I just remember Reese Waters taking a ill-advised 3 up 2 with I don't even know. It was 40 seconds left or something.
It's so funny when you lose a game by 1 in that fashion. There's so many plays you go back to. It wasn't one thing. That's the thing. It wasn't one turnover. It wasn't one moving screen. It wasn't one shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just feel like it's add it all up. A little bit of a perfect storm for Troy. Like, how often is Troy going to win that game? Now, they deserve to win the game. They played well enough
their ass off
to win the game. But I'm just wondering, if they come here 100 times, how many times are they positioning themselves to win that game? But they won. Fair and square. It counts.
Is this our Darren or a different Darren? A different Darren.
This is Darren who calls into Jon and Jim over the years. 877-767-4760. Darren wants to weigh in on the Aztecs. You're back with us on Jon and Jim.
Jim, long time no talk. How are we?
What's up, man?
We're good.
Well, good. Except for after last night. I just want to keep it brief, but my overarching point is I think as a program that has now gotten into NIL, we've gotten community support. They sell at every single game. We as a program, I think, should move on from ever losing to Sunbelt teams at home. The whole, it happens. It was a crazy game. You're right. All the above. Games like last night cannot happen. It's just that simple. It cannot happen if this program truly believes what it can about itself, and that is that they are elite and that they belong as a perennial top 25 team, as a second weekend NCAA tournament team. These games do not happen to programs like ours, and they should not. And I mean, it's not like we need heads to roll here. I find last night to be the most unacceptable game probably since the outdoor loss at Petco Park to USD.
But that's kind of Darren. But isn't that kind of the point? Like these games can't happen, and he maybe hung up. But they don't happen. I mean, Brian Dutcher has been here 9 years, and they have like the fewest quad 3 losses since that was put in as a tool. It doesn't happen, but it's still sports. I mean, teams are it happens.
I thought Dutch brought up a good point in that clip we played earlier in the show that, they've been in this situation a bunch of times before, only they hit the buzzer beater. So it kind of just became an afterthought. Sure. Nobody thought about it.
Yeah.
But, without, Malachi Flynn's jumper that one year, they would have, who was that against?
San Jose State.
Yeah. They would have lost that game.
Micah Parrish against UC Irvine. I mean, there's a number of
Jaden
examples.
Ledee against UCSD.
Yeah, 100%. There's examples. It's a really good point. I mean, the idea that it cannot happen, I get it, but like the other team wants to win too. Like, so it's hard to say like it cannot happen ever because it's sports and things do happen.
At least they didn't lose to Hawaii Pacific.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good point. Like Boise did. All right, more on the other side. Bernie Wilson joining us at 5 p.m. Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's O-line coach. If you missed our conversation, you'll hear that coming up at 5:30. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Bernie Wilson on Randy Jones, the Padres. He's covering. He's been writing on Aztec football as well. He'll join us coming up at 5 p.m. If you missed Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's O-line coach, you'll hear that conversation at 5:30. Is it at all discouraging to you that with free agency underway in baseball and with everything that's playing out here locally in San Diego, ownership in flux, you have a team like Pittsburgh, the Pirates, linked to more free agents and more spend than the San Diego Padres? They were linked to Josh Naylor before he got the $92 million. They've been linked to Kyle Schwarber already this offseason. Is that discouraging or disheartening at all?
No, because the Pittsburgh Pirates should absolutely be a team that's looking to spend a bunch of money. You have a generational player on your team who there's already rumors that he is telling people inside the clubhouse he wants to go play for the Yankees already. Mm-hmm. You better do everything you possibly can to get that guy to the postseason and get him in postseason games and pitching games that absolutely matter. Not surprising. It's almost, I'm like applauding it, like good. Like that's exactly what the Pirates should do. The problem is they can throw around all this money they want.
It's not going to do anything.
Are they going to land anybody?
And honestly, if you land Kyle Schwarber, are you going to make the postseason?
No. And
I doubt it.
And you'll have to overpay significantly
to get these
players.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the richest deal they've ever given out
was the McCutcheon?
Francisco Liriano, $39 million.
Shut up.
Richest deal in franchise history is 3 years, $39 million for a free agent. They've extended players. Brian Reynolds. They've extended players for more than that. Their richest free agent deal is $39 million.
Pirates are an absolute
How
joke.
crazy is that?
They're a joke of a franchise.
Yeah, it's almost like your actions speak loud. And even if you go chase down a free agent or two this winter, if you're Paul Skeens, you really think that's what they're going to do for the next decade? Build around you? No way.
No.
You can't chase it down for one offseason. But I agree with what you're saying about maybe it's good for baseball if the Pirates try to be competitive. I'm just thinking about it here. Like, I want to hear the Padres being tied to players. Like, have the Padres already done all their work? So this is what they're going to have because they've already spent their money. So then they're not going to be linked to players because they've already spent their money. Well, that's not overly exciting. And if they've already spent all their money and this is what they're going to be, well, we've seen the best of what they're going to be. Like, how are they going to break through? What's on the other side?
Yeah, I don't know. The thing with the Pirates is that they have a lot of work to do. On the other side of that, if they sign a couple free agents, like it's gonna take years, dude.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Padres.
Oh, the Padres. Yeah, the Padres. The same Padres. What they have to do is they got to go out and they have to be creative and they have to go do what they've done the last 2 years because, I mean, we've said it, and I don't think anything's changing. They're going to go out and spend big time money on free agents. Like, probably not.
And is that disheartening?
Yeah. It's a little disheartening, but at the same time, it's the reality of where we're at with the Padres organization is that they're going through a sale. They have shown you that they're not going to spend money, and they've told you, hey, we're going to stay around the $211 million range, which is where we were at last year. And oh, by the way, our payroll right now is 201. So
that's not very much increase.
It's discouraging from that standpoint, but it's not surprising.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be because it's not coming off the heels of like 2022 when they spent all this money, sent Bogarts to 280 and, giving Manny a $350 million contract on the heels of giving Tatis a 14-year deal, right? Like, we're not coming off of that. We're coming off of 2 off seasons where it was AJ Preller trying to be as creative as possible with nothing really to work with.
So if you do that, let's say you did that for a third consecutive offseason. Are you getting closer to reaching your goals or are you getting further because now you're just like patching leaky holes, but you're not really filling them? Like you're kind of holding on. You're holding on with this core, some of which is young, Merrill, Tatis, some of which is old, Musgrove, Machado, Bogarts, Darvish.
I just remember hearing, when the question was brought up of like, hey, you going to go spend any big time money again?
Yeah.
The answer was, we've already spent our big time money. They've already done their big spending.
Right.
So because that is what they've already done, Yeah, filling holes, patching holes, leaks, right? Patching the leaky area where they fill the hole that fixed the
Right.
leak, but then
There's
over in the
another
corner
one.
there's another leak. Like that's what the Padres are going to have to do, or what they're going to be doing is you got this drywall that's, kind of mostly done. The big areas are filled, right? But the corners are just really ugly and they're not compliant.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like the biggest question mark for me in this like falling apart house, which isn't, they have a good house, but there's some concerns.
There's areas that needs to be redone. Yeah.
Exactly. And the area that needs to be redone is the rotation.
And that's kind of like your kitchen.
That's your foundation.
Yeah, it's also the foundation.
Right. That's hundreds and hundreds of innings.
I know.
Over the course of the year. And you have a piece in Pivetta. We like Nick Pivetta a lot. You have Joe Musgrove. Everyone loves Joe Musgrove, but is it going to look like it looked?
And here's the thing: going into any Major League Baseball season, NBA season, NFL season, right? You always have to prepare and expect for things to alter your plans.
That's exactly right.
Such as injuries, unforeseen things that happen in a season. Michael King sleeping wrong in Atlanta, right? Like you have to be prepared for that and know that those things are going to come.
Yeah.
So when you have a rotation as weak as you do now, you can't have enough starting pitching. You can't go out and get enough starting pitching for this season, upcoming year. Like you got to go out and get the most you possibly can. That's why re-signing Michael King to potentially around $100 million isn't probably in the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And they're instead going to potentially use that money, if they even have that money, and go out and get 4 or 5 players at way less cost.
Right. Split it up.
Oh,
not one player, but hey, we have 4 needs. Let's spend that money more appropriately than just on one player.
Yeah. The first move, and I don't count Kyle Hart as the first move.
Neither do I.
The first significant, I'll say, move that AJ makes will tell me all I need to know about how this offseason will go. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you'll see a short-term free agent solution in terms of the rotation. We threw out 8 or 9 names. I can see him kind of spending on the rotation, but not to the dollar figures of Michael King.
Like if they go out, like the names you read off yesterday, I forget some of them, but
yeah, I have it actually. I have it right here. At least pulled up. Guys I don't even know.
Like Frankie Montas.
Yeah, we had it.
Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
If AJ goes out and he signs one of the dudes that
it's Giolito, Merrill Kelly, Chris Bassett.
Right. He goes out and signs one of those guys like a 2-year, $18 million deal or something.
That tells you about their mind and motivation.
They're going short term, low money, not a lot of high upside.
Yep.
Not a lot of risk. You're not going to get a big time contract this offseason. I feel like I would love to be proven wrong on that. And they just signed Michael King to a $375. But let's be real here, guys.
Bernie Wilson on the other side. He's going to join us. His thoughts on the legacy of Randy Jones, passing away at the age of 75, the former Cy Young Award winner for the San Diego Padres. We'll get into the Padres with Bernie as well. Then Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's O-line coach at 5:30. Final hour, Jon and Jim coming up next.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. We'll start with the Aztecs as they got upset last night by Troy, 108-107 in double overtime. Aztecs will next play on Monday night in Las Vegas in the NIL tournament against number 7 Michigan. They'll also play Oregon in that tournament as well. SDFC Midweek Live, we're an hour out from that. 1 full hour of SDFC talk as the guys get you ready for the SDFC semifinal match on Monday night at Snapdragon Stadium. And sad news of the day here in San Diego, former Padres great and Cy Young Award winner Randy Jones passed away today at the age of 75. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't forget custom cards, invites, photo gifts, wrapping paper, and more. Staples, that was easy.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, final hour of Jon and Jim. And our pleasure to welcome back onto the show, Bernie Wilson. Back with us, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Bernie, it has been too long. First of all, bro, what is going on, first of all? We'll get into Randy Jones and his passing, but how are you, man?
Living the dream, man. Sitting out here in East County, having a cup of tea on a chilly afternoon, getting ready for a gin and tonic. And, you know, it's the retired life hits well, bros. I hope you make it in one piece so that you can enjoy it too.
You're our inspiration, Bernie.
Seriously. All right.
Thanks.
Bernie, let's get, we find out today that sadly Randy Jones has passed away. Obviously played such an important role, not just as a player, but kind of as an ambassador over the years as well. How do you remember, how will you look upon Randy Jones now in his passing?
Very fondly. You know, the thing about Randy and guys in other sports like Rod Laver, whom I've gotten to know, their playing careers were long done even before an old guy like me moved to San Diego in the early 90s. And, you know, you that was pre-internet, and you find things out like, oh, this guy won a Cy Young and stuff like that. And I remember seeing Randy around, and, you know, I don't think let me phrase this differently. There have been very few ambassadors for the Padres and the game of baseball like Randy Jones. You know, I know Tony Gwynn was very good, and a few Trevor Hoffman's very good, but Randy, it was just, I've never seen somebody pose for so many photos with fans, be available, be accommodating, gregarious. I mean, he was just a perfect guy for the job. And, you know, he loved it. He loved being around people, loved talking, just, you know, whatever. And it's incredibly sad that he's passed. I know the last time I saw him, he was making fewer and fewer appearances at the stadium, and he looked pretty frail the last time. But, I mean, God, he just seemed to have boundless energy and enthusiasm and was always positive. And like I said, always had time for the fans. So it really is incredibly sad. And I'll just remember him as a dude hanging around the ballpark more so than, you know, winning the Cy Young Award, because that was so long ago. Although that was legendary in its own right, as far as him pitching fast games and things like that.
As you know, Bernie, athletes can put on a face when they're talking to media, and then behind closed doors, they're a completely different person. Some might say a lot of people are unauthentic in the athlete world. I feel like Randy was as authentic as it gets. You would talk to him, you know, off the record, or talk to him just BSing in the press box, and he was just as genuine as could be. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned the press box, because back when he was doing the pre-game and post-game radio shows and some other media appearances, he'd oftentimes come up into the press box and spend a few innings sitting with us on the front row. And I don't think I've ever laughed as hard as I have some of the time sitting with him, nor cussed as much, because he and I shared a few favorite words. And we like to drop them because, you know, the press box, we can do that thing because we're not around sensitive ears and the stress of deadline and whatnot. But no, we had some great times up there. And then, whenever we passed each other at the ballpark, we had our little phrases for each other that we'd drop. Hey, hey, you blah, 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 blank,
Oh, yeah.
blank. It was good bro fun. And, the thing I'm really happy about is he got to meet both of my sons. The oldest son would help me run quotes from the losing clubhouse in summers when he was in college. And a few years after that, and he and Randy, took a liking to each other. And every time I saw Randy, I said, "Hey, Randy, you got a message for Jack?" And he'd say, "Yeah, you tell that little blankety blank." And so I'd pass it on to Jack verbatim, and he would get just a huge kick out of that. And then our younger son played travel ball and played a little bit of high school baseball. And Randy gave him a pitching lesson one time just because the only way he could get on the field was to pitch more. And so took him up to Randy's place in Escondido, and whatever he charged, wasn't any more than some of these knuckleheads who give pitching and hitting lessons. And it was from a Cy Young winner. And Randy was just unique. He came at it from a different approach. And I know Mike had a good time. I think we just had that one lesson. But it was helpful. And not only that, but Randy's 2 hunting dogs were running around the yard. Randy had a pitching lane set up the back 40. He had a nice place up in Escondido, and he had a pitching lane, and he had his hunting dogs running around. So I don't know many kids who can say they got a pitching lesson from a Cy Young winner with his hunting dogs running around the yard. So
that's amazing.
Just cool little things like that. He was a different cat and a good cat, and I'm glad that he let us hang in his orbit all those years.
Yeah, Randy was on obviously pregame for a long time with Coach, and he's done pregames before, done a bunch of hits, talk about the Padres. His numbers retired here. He's thrown out first pitches. My question, though, is, Bernie, do you feel like he was celebrated enough, right? He had those 2 amazing years in the 70s, winning the Cy Young. He's probably one of the first, superstars that wore a Padres uniform even before Tony showed up. But do you feel like he was celebrated enough?
I think he was. I mean, 76, that was, that's the year I graduated from high school, 49 years ago.
Oh, boy. Been a while.
Yeah, no kidding. Fortunately, I'm still upright and don't need a walker yet.
There we go.
But I am on Medicare. That was a long time ago. I think the Padres have done right by him. They retired his number, deservedly so, unlike a certain number of first basemen who played for another team before he came down here, but who hit a monster home run in club history. I think they have, with the retired number, a spot in the Team Hall of Fame, the fact that he is around the ballpark so much. And I'm glad they kept him, I guess, coming by, so to speak, because a lot of alumni, I don't know what the deal is. They either wear out their welcome or just aren't as cool to be around with. Tony Gwynn sadly passed, 11 years ago. He was around quite a lot, but there just aren't. And I know Jake Peavy, when he's in town, he'll come out and hang with the fans, but there just aren't a lot of guys of, Randy's stature, first of all, who played for this club, and second, are still around. I just think it was, so I think they, hopefully they'll have a shoulder patch or a uniform patch next year, some other things, paint something onto the grass for him. But I think they've done enough, and I'm just glad that A, he wanted to be around, and B, they let him be around. So I think they've done right by him, and he did. I guess it's a favor to the fans just by being there, part of living club history for people to absorb. And I've been really touched by all the pictures today of fans who posed with him over the years. And I think that might be his greatest contribution to the team, is making fans feel important. I mean, there are just a ton of pictures on social media going back to the Jack Murphy days and tons of him with fans at Petco Park, and I think that may be his enduring legacy.
That's really well said. Bernie Wilson with us right now on Jon and Jim. So you kind of mentioned maybe what's to come. Maybe they'll honor him in some way in 2026. Also in 2026, I mean, this ownership group right now is exploring a sale of the franchise. What was your reaction to that? The news that the ownership group led by John Seidler is exploring a sale?
Not surprised in the slightest. And the second part is, since I am officially retired from Associated Press and only cover games on a freelance basis, I don't have to touch that mess. It's some other poor sucker. So I guess I'll just follow it along with everybody else. Not surprised, disappointed. What's disappointing is when the second and third generation of a family get control of a team and do things like this, and like what we've seen with the NFL team that used to play here. Because, the Seidlers are part of the third generation of the O'Malley family that moved the Dodgers from Brooklyn. There's still people chapped about that to Los Angeles. And it's just, obviously just a brutal loss when Peter Seidler died. I don't think I'm far off base, and things have not been the same down there since Peter died.
No.
It really lost the family run feeling. You saw Peter all the time down on the field in the concourses. He even flew over to Phoenix the day Bebo, El Nino, Toddy came back from his suspension. He was that involved. And he was like Randy Jones. He'd pose for pictures of fans all the time. And it just hasn't been the same since. I mean, John Seidler, I don't know how many appearances he made, if any. I know he did one in-game TV appearance. Was there for the big Craig Stammenhuiser, which fortunately Jim wasn't down there to get in the way of the
I know.
cameras.
I saved everybody.
Ran smoothly, bro. Couldn't resist that one, bro. And it just has not felt the same. So maybe it's better that they sell, and the $1 million or the $2 billion question and now is, God, will they get somebody in here who's actually going to treat it with some loving care and want to compete and want to win like Peter did and want to spend money and spend it wisely. If they get a good owner, then perfect. Move on and, try to slay the dragon to the north, because they're not going anywhere. But man, if they get a bad owner, and we've seen some bad owners, when you have no hair in your head like me, it means you've been around for a while. And, I could talk all the rest of the evening about some bad ownership groups I've seen. So that's the important thing, is whose hands the Padres get into, and if they're going to be good stewards or bad stewards.
And to your point, Bernie, that's the $2 billion question that goes beyond that, because that's the most important question that needs to be answered by the Padres and, of course, for the fan base. I mean, are you going to get the right owner, and how trusting are we that John Seidler finds the right owner for the Padres moving forward? Bernie, we appreciate you doing it, my friend. Thanks for a few minutes on Randy Jones, on the Padres. Hope you're doing well.
You bet, and thoughts and prayers for your Aztecs, man. That must have been brutal going from that buzzer beater to
working with Jim today.
I know, yeah, it was tough. It was tough transition for John.
Yeah, to work with Jim, who accurately called the crushing defeat before it happened. But,
right, exactly. Of course he did.
I saw the future.
Yeah, of course he did. Thanks, Bernie.
You did. So, all right, guys, always good talking to you.
Great catching up with Bernie Wilson. All right, we can react on the other side. Plus, should the NBA mandate what Stephen A. Smith is suggesting? Should they mandate what Stephen A. Smith is suggesting? We'll explain next. Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's offensive line coach, at 5:30. This is Jon and Jim. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. If you missed Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's O-line coach, you'll hear our conversation coming up at 5:30. All right, Stephen A. Smith, you know the name?
It sounds familiar.
He suggests today.
Oh, really? He spoke today. That's interesting.
He suggested today that the NBA mandate a 33-minute cap for players. You heard me right. Stephen A. Smith suggesting today the NBA mandate a 33-minute cap for players. Why you got to play 8 guys, he says. Why can't you play 10 or 11? I'm talking about mandating it. Do you like the idea of limiting the amount of minutes players can play in an NBA game? So LeBron James can only play 33 minutes. Steph Curry can only play 33 minutes.
No wonder they took him off the NBA Countdown show.
Luka, 33 minutes.
Shut up.
Austin Reeves.
Dude, what are you
33 minutes. Earlier this week, Steve Kerr expressed concern about the pace of play. Therefore, rest them more freely.
How about, I don't know, shorten the season. Don't have as many back-to-backs. That's the fix.
Yeah.
Not, hey, we have to cap these guys' minutes.
But the greed, like, are you going from 82 games to 72 games?
There never will be because of the greed. You're right.
It's money.
Why don't you just go 80? Why don't you go 62 games?
Okay, you can take a quarter of the schedule away. Just like that.
But you have 12 games that are cup games. So you add, so it's 74 games total.
All right, so 62 plus 12. We have 12 cup games.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the postseason.
So and then you make sure there's not as many back-to-backs. Like teams don't have many back-to-backs.
Right, like 1 or 2 a year.
You in November, because that's when the cup season begins. You carve out like a 2-week period where all you do is play cup games.
I like that.
And you promote the hell out of it. And you put that thing on Peacock, and you put that thing on NBC, and you put that thing on ESPN, and you have cup games for like 2.5 weeks leading up to the cup finals in Vegas.
Okay.
And then we get, actually not just the middle of November, probably like middle of November to like Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe wrap it up on Christmas.
And then that'd be a good idea. And then have Christmas Day be like the second opening night to your season.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have lesser games.
I like that.
You give guys more rests, and you're not having a million back-to-backs for your season.
What about just having the 33-minute cap? So like you're tied at 108.
I got to take him out of the game.
41 seconds left.
He's at 33 minutes.
LeBron and Luka on the floor, but they have to sit.
That would be.
And then Bronny's out there.
That would be incredible.
Trying to win a game for the Lakers. 33-minute cap. Give me a break. It's like seriously, give me an absolute break. There have to be. Here's the solution. They're cramming postseason games into tight windows. So that's your point. Then maybe take away some regular season games. You can't maximize the postseason revenue. Like you can't go from 82 to 78.
And the injuries in the league are mounting up.
Oh, I know.
And tonight, by the way, the Warriors, they're in Miami.
Okay.
They are resting Steph. They're resting Draymond. They're resting Jimmy. They're resting Al Horford, who's 74 years old. And they're also not resting, but he's out because of injury, is Jonathan Kuminga.
So what's the final? Warriors 109, Heat 83.
No, Heat 115, Warriors 78. The Warriors have already had 5 back-to-backs this season.
Really?
5.
What? That's ridiculous.
The Rockets have had 0. The next closest team to them is 3.
What's the deal with that?
Adam Silver says
the Warriors.
He doesn't like the Warriors.
So the Warriors have some scheduled losses just built in with this veteran roster because they're not going to force the issue.
Yeah,
not going to get guys hurt.
100%. But maybe now on the backside, they won't have as many back-to-backs.
Good point.
Still, start your season out with that many back-to-backs with like a team that's on the verge of filing for their AARP cards.
Well,
that's brutal.
Maybe if Steve Kerr was following the mandate
of 33 minutes per game,
then maybe all those guys would be active tonight. And it's not like, first of all, a lot of these guys aren't playing more than 33 minutes. No. How many minutes does Steph average this year per game? Mid-30s?
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Like when
All right, so here's the minutes per game totals for the
Yeah.
Warriors. Steph's averaging 30.8 minutes per game.
30 minutes.
Jimmy's averaging 31 minutes per game. Draymond's averaging 28 minutes per game.
Okay. So the truth is, they're already under the cap. They're under the mandate.
Yeah.
But in the event, that's the dumbest number. Like 33 minute cap. It makes no sense. It's like, okay, like 33 minutes.
Like someone could get hurt in minute 3 of the game.
Yeah, like is there any evidence to suggest in minute 34 your Achilles falls off? You're going to tweak an ankle?
I just think there needs to be more rest for these teams.
Season's so long.
More rest for these players. Shorten the season up. Have the NBA Cup. Bring in that extra revenue lost from the games that you're going to lose, right? And so then you don't have situations where guys are resting on back-to-backs. Like if I was in Miami and I'm like, oh, Steph's in town.
In street clothes.
Or like, oh, Jimmy's back. Got to boo him.
Street clothes.
Probably not even there.
Right.
And I'm guaranteeing you, because it's the Warriors, the Miami Heat sold that game for a pretty good price.
To go watch who?
Moses Moody and Brandon Podjemski. I'm serious.
I know. Yeah, I think it's a dumb idea to cap minutes in a game. I do like the idea of shortening the schedule.
And the NBA was on fire to start the season. Why? Because everyone was coming in with like 4 months off.
I know, you're right.
And everyone just shut out the gate like
and
a
now
cannon.
Everyone's
dead.
Yeah, sitting. Yeah.
Wemby's dead.
Yeah.
Freaking Steph is going to fall apart any minute now.
I know, it's scary.
LeBron's got sciatica.
He plays one game.
I
know.
I don't know. If I was the NBA, though, and say we shorten the season and then nothing changed to where all the injuries kept happening, I'd be like, I want those 20 games back. You guys said if we shorten these seasons, these injuries were going to stop, because this was 100% the reason why all these injuries are happening, because we're overworking you.
And I agree with you, but the thing is, why not at least try? I mean,
I'm not opposed to trying. I'm just saying if they would try it, and then it turns out that everyone's still getting injured at the same pace, and it's still, people are blowing their Achilles like they were before. I just, you guys said this was the solution, so we did it, and now nothing's changed, and we've lost lots of revenue because of all these games that we cut out because we listened to you and it didn't help.
Fix the NBA. 70470. Start it with the word team. Mike Schmidt, San Diego State's veteran offensive line coach. The Aztecs resurgence this year, 8-2 under Sean Lewis. If you missed our conversation with Mike Schmidt, you'll hear it on the other side. Plus Jim's back page. Stay with us.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. We'll start with the Aztecs. Losing last night to Troy at home. Not a good game for the Aztecs. Next up, they'll take on Michigan on Monday night in Las Vegas for the NIL tournament. We're about 30 minutes away from SDFC Midweek Live with the guys getting you ready for the semifinal match here at Snapdragon Stadium between SDFC and Minnesota. Sad news of the day here in San Diego is former Padres great Randy Jones and passed away today at the age of 75. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on top-notch tech and gaming gifts, plus shipping supplies and services to get your package delivered safely. Don't forget custom cards, invites, photo gifts, wrapping paper, and more. Staples, that was easy.
All right, Jim's back page coming up, but if you missed, San Diego State's offensive line coach, Mike Schmidt, back for a second stint on the Mesa. He joined us earlier. We started the conversation by asking Coach Schmidt about the biggest difference between last year and this year with the Aztecs.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, John. I appreciate you guys' support of the Aztec football program and all that, and kind of looking at the whole thing holistically. You know, when I got back 2 years ago and kind of seeing where that roster was, you know, there was a little carryover from my first stint with some of the players I had previously recruited. I think we did a good job in retaining the ones we needed to that we felt could help us win games in this conference and had the physical traits we were looking for and all that. We did a good job retaining those guys, and then just the additions we made in the room. You know, we got since the time I got here in February. You know, there's a lot of backups that have been brought in that time, and then there's three key contributors that we've hit on. And Joe Borjon, the starting right tackle, we hit on Bio Kaniki out of Utah Tech, and then I had a previous relationship with the left guard there, Kalen Ellis, from my time at Syracuse, and really getting the right pieces in the room. And then just this year, you know, and being able to stay healthy has really developed that room. And I think, you know, if you go out there and watch us on a Saturday, it looks like a similar front than what people are used to around here for the 9-10 years. I was the O-line coach here before, and I think, you know, winning the line of scrimmage gives our guys a chance, and I think we got dynamic backs behind us that are doing a good job as well. You know, finding space and making the extra hat miss at times, and I think things are starting to gel, and just proud of the work the players have done. First of all, you know.
I feel like in the offseason, Coach, there was a lot of emphasis on improving the offensive line. Last year's offensive line play, some could say, was maybe a weakness of the team, or it wasn't a strength of the team like it is this year. And to see how the offensive line has performed this season, how proud are you of the success so far to this point that your offensive line has had, knowing you guys put so much work into the offseason to make sure this offensive line was much improved?
Yeah, we put a lot of work into that room, and Coach Lewis is a big believer in that position. That's why some of those guys are here, and the resources that we've poured into them, and I think that's the most important part is top down emphasis in that room. Those guys have stayed healthy this year, and you know, it's something we always talk about. Like we've had some ups, you know, mostly ups this year, and a few downs. Like we didn't play up to standard. Over there on the island a couple of weeks back, and I think these guys are responding to challenges, and I think there's good pride in that room. You know, when I came back, I brought back a bunch of old players and guys who went on and played at the next level, and those groups were relevant on the West Coast, and I think that's one thing I've kind of been fighting with these guys is hey man, like people got to turn on our tape and you want to be relevant in this game, and in order to be relevant, you got to be able to sustain it through a season. And that's what we're battling right now. Like we're going to have a stretch here, the next two, hopefully, you know, in the conference championship game as well, to show that we are relevant. And I think the guys have bought into that, and they're fighting to be the best group in this league.
Mike Schmidt, Aztec for life, San Diego State's offensive line coach, second stint on the Mesa. So much success over the years with the run game. Coach, take us through just like, go back to Boise, for example, imposing your will as a run blocker. Obviously, both are critically important, run blocking and pass blocking. What's it like for your group when they know, you know, you're going to run it 50 plus times and you had the success like you had this past week where you run it for 6 yards a carry?
Yeah, I think the guys kind of knew it going in what the conditions were going to be. The first couple drives, and I think you got to it's just like making a putt at times, man. You got to see that first one go in, right? And then that third drive out, we popped that run for about 40, and it started giving us confidence. And then really from there on out, we identified what they were doing on defense because it was different. They were playing in different conditions, and certain personnel groupings were really good. Others where we got sputtered to drive before were not as good. So we learned a little bit those first couple drives out how they were going to play us. The guys got confidence in how they were playing us in certain sets, and we allowed them to keep their feet underneath them, drive knees, and have the success that we had the other night. Because that's a big physical front that we went up against who usually can hold a team at bay running the football. They were so one dimensional. And our guys took the challenge and kept battling that whole night. And it was good to see the backs get loose. And the backs did a great job just bouncing off tackles and playing that grimy game as well,
So getting to San Jose State this weekend, they have a new defensive coordinator. What are some challenges that you might face this Sunday, knowing that there's a new defensive coordinator on the other side of the ball? Or is it mostly about just what you guys do up front?
I think that's the most thing. And when you get this late in the year, you got a lot of analytics and stuff that you've been diving into from a run game perspective where whether it's us being able to fit it up, the running backs, their comfort level in the certain track that they're running. So we have to rely on our successes, what we do well, and the reps that have accumulated over the year. Because really playing defense into certain formations, there's only so many ways a defense is going to line up. Right. Now there's certain pressures, certain movements and stuff like that. But as long as you protect those runs with different outs on the perimeter and you rep all the stuff they've been doing through the year, they might have a movement. They might have a line stunt that you got to work throughout the course of the game. But that's no different every week. Every defense is going to have a little something different for you each week. And you got to be able to solve the problem on the sideline as well. So that'll be part of the challenge. They're still 9 games into this thing too. So how much can they change in a 5-6 day work week as well? So probably structurally not different, but there will be some tweaks and adjustments that we're going to have to make come Saturday night.
Mike Schmidt with us right now, Aztec for Life, San Diego State's offensive line coach. So you've had a senior night. You've coached in many a senior night, whether it be at San Diego State or elsewhere. Saturday night against San Jose State, you have it coming up. What goes into that? Like making sure that, you have your emotions in check. You celebrate this group that has led to all of the success, but you make sure you take care of the task at hand as well.
Yeah, no doubt. And I told the guys the day after practice, we've had a lot of really good offensive lines around here during my time. And the ones that I still communicate with and the ones that are still the tightest together are the ones who had the most special year, right? So, there's nothing better than we're in a championship race right now. We put ourselves in this position. We got to attack this thing the right way. Obviously, honor the seniors that have put so much time and effort. You got Ross, who's going on really his 6th year here. You got Christian Jones, same thing. And we got to honor those guys the right way. But at the same time, know that, man, you're going to remember this season the rest of your life if we finish this thing out the right way, and I think that's the message to those guys. And we are in a championship race where the last couple of years here, we have not had that opportunity, and we're back in the saddle, and we got to finish this thing out the wrong way to make this senior year, the senior night, the most special season they've ever had competing playing football.
Obviously, job's not finished yet, but just speak on what Sean Lewis has done here and how he's taken this program from just 3 wins last year to where you guys are now, have your sights set on a Mountain West Conference championship.
Yeah, I think if you're in the office with him daily, it wouldn't surprise you the way he works, and not just the football side of things and the operation of, the organization that we have here as a staff and the players have, the routine we can get in just to let us focus on the job at hand. But just the way he works at everything, he's across campus trying to get student engagement. He's active everywhere. He's really built up an NIL collective here, where there wasn't much when we first got here, and he's busted his tail there to find the right supporters and the guys who are committed to this program. And so there's the way he works, and he's always the first one in here, man, and last one out of here. So there was no surprise that he was going to get it turned around, and I'm just fired up that he gave me an opportunity to come back home and get to know him and work with him and show him I can get the job done for him.
I want to finish on that point. For you getting back home, I mean, what has this experience? You kind of you've had a unique coaching career, because it's not every day that a coach spends as much time at one place and then has a chance to return to that place. So what has this experience been like for you the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I had one son born here, my first stint, and then another one was born in Syracuse, New York. And then 2 months later after he was born, I was in Starkville, Mississippi. And then 9 months after that, we're back in San Diego all together. So it's really a credit to my family and them sticking together and by my side and all that. It's probably been harder on them than it has for me, because all I do is wake up, come to work and get going. And then in the off season, I'm doing the recruiting part of everything and all that. So it's been a unique experience. I was just, when I got fired for the first time out there in Mississippi and was pretty fired up. 2 weeks later, Coach Lewis gave me a call and had an opportunity for me. And there's no place I'd rather be than back home. And the reason I left the first time was really for personal growth and being at the same spot, and felt a little stagnant with the coaching change from going from Rocky to Brady and all that, and just wanted to go out there and see what was out there. And I'm so thankful for those years, because I had to get out of my comfort zone, right? And that's how I coach offensive linemen. I don't ever want them to be comfortable. And I felt like the first thing I got a little comfortable there toward the end and wanted to go grow. And I think that's exactly what I did over those 3 years in different environments.
Well, you can go home again, as you have proven here over the last couple of years, working with this group at San Diego State. Mike Schmidt, again, Aztecs offensive line coach and Aztec for life. Senior night for the 8-2 Aztecs. Coach Schmidt, appreciate it. Best of luck in your preparation. We'll see you this weekend, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right, on the other side, Jim's back page, SDFC Midweek Live. Adrian Garcia Marquez, Darren Smith. That'll come up at 6 p.m. tonight as SDFC gets ready for the Western Conference semifinals. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, Adrian Garcia Marquez, Darren Smith coming up. STFC Midweek Live getting set for Monday night, Western Conference semifinals. That's coming up Monday night for SDFC at Snapdragon Stadium at 7 p.m. And we do have Sean Lewis tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Sean Lewis.
Oh,
so a lot of shows.
A lot of shows.
Jon and Jim. Fletch Zone.
What else you got?
The Herd.
Broadcast
locally right here.
Yeah. What else you got?
He comes in and does that show. It's before you're in here, but I see him every day. Yeah.
Wow.
Shows up.
I didn't know that.
He's in early. Brings in, who's he work with? Who does he work with?
Jason McIntyre.
Yeah, he comes in. That's why there's always food in the kitchen. They're the guys that bring it by. There's fruit in the kitchen right now. Did anyone notice that?
There is?
Yeah.
I haven't got up, I think, all day long.
You haven't.
I think I've just stuck right here, which is not a good thing. I need to get up.
Yeah,
there's room temperature fruit from 8 hours ago.
Yeah,
good.
I had some actually a minute ago. Actually, I had something for you before you start the back page.
Oh, I need to stretch a little bit.
I feel like I screen grabbed it.
Oh,
no, maybe I didn't. All right, let's get to it.
My knees crack?
I did.
I'm an old man.
You're so old.
You should hear my ankles crack. It's like potato chips.
So we didn't have a back page on Monday, and you weren't here yesterday.
I wasn't here yesterday
for the back page.
Oh, it's true. It took me 50 minutes to get to the end.
Seriously?
You should have seen what was going on last night. Cops everywhere.
So you listened to every word I said?
No, I was watching a YouTube video. But the entire time.
Son of a...
That is hilarious. No, I watched, I think, the San Jose State press conference with Ken Niumatalolo.
You're like, no, I wouldn't be caught dead listening to this station.
No, because let me guess what the 5 p.m. hour included. Did he replay both interviews?
Hell yeah.
You know it.
Did you replay the back page?
No, I didn't replay the back page. I had like 2 segments in there where I just let it rip.
All right, so yeah, I wasn't listening to the back page yesterday.
No, I know you weren't. Obviously,
I wasn't.
Like, I don't listen to the station when I'm not on the station.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be painted with that brush. That's not.
Come on, tell our listeners the truth.
No, can I make a point? I'm gonna make a point for everyone here.
Hey, you're the one making it. So
I got HD radio. It's a problem.
Because the problem is we're not on it.
It's down. No, I got the app.
Breaking news.
I have the app.
3 months called.
It's been
3 months
down.
ago called.
It's been down. Are we gonna get that fixed?
Let me answer that for you.
It's on the list.
Stay tuned.
You know the answer to that. And it's a resounding
hey,
no.
Man, our HD ratings are down.
I wonder why.
HD ratings.
You guys are pulling a 0 in the HD ratings card. Yeah.
All right, what do you have?
Did we play the open? No.
Yeah, we
We did. I'm sorry. We had.
Dude,
we went on like a long. I don't know.
Like Jim is traditionally checked out, and
I'm very checked out.
But now he's like fully checked out, and
I'm full.
You are full checked out.
If you know, you know. So I didn't mention Crumble Cookie on Monday, John. The Crumble Cookies of the week.
Oh, great. Why don't you do it on Wednesday then?
Hey, it's still going for the rest of the week here.
Okay.
Cookies and cream tres leches cake, a banana pudding.
Okay. We like banana pudding.
We do.
Yeah.
Petco Park banana pudding.
Yeah, very good.
A peanut butter cup skillet cookie featuring Reese's.
Really good.
Dude.
Yeah.
Double fudge brownie cookie. Dude.
Very good.
A blueberry pancake cookie.
Okay.
Intriguing.
Iced oatmeal cookie.
Iced oatmeal. That sounds good.
And then the old reliable milk chocolate chip.
All of them sound good. Seriously. All of them.
So
go pick those up for us. Pick those up for us Friday.
The one thing that Crumble Cookie does do is they have a lot of like cakes and puddings. It's like, I want a cookie.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Dip your cookie in pudding.
That is a
cookie and pudding.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Brent sent me this earlier today. An episode of the 1990s sitcom Friends is the inspiration behind this new Kraft Heinz company first ever squeezable bottle of their home style turkey gravy. Heinz debuts leftover gravy condiment bottle.
I don't know.
Inspired by Friends, the Moist Maker sandwich. I don't know if I want a bottle of Heinz and it says leftover on it. Anything leftover to me means it's already been used or that it's already been eaten halfway. I don't really want to eat that.
I think that people at Heinz have lost their mind officially when it started like 4 years ago, and they're like, hey, let's combine mayonnaise and ketchup and put it in a bottle.
They have been doing that.
They have all those different gross combinations of ketchup and other
colors.
Condiments. And
dude,
no. So this is just like another in the long line of what the hell are you thinking, Heinz?
Just
creations.
stick with the basics, man. People are into ketchup. They're into it.
We don't
just keep doing it.
We don't need any.
No, we don't.
No.
Do we need new variations of toothpaste? Just sell toothpaste. You know what I mean?
Do we want toothpaste that tastes like Fruit Loops?
Yeah, exactly. Like, no.
I mean, kids might.
People are going to just give them
I used to do that when I was
toothpaste.
a kid.
Yeah.
They had that bubblegum flavored one.
Make ketchup. It's your job.
Do you know what Five Nights at Freddy's is?
No, I do not.
Popeyes is tapping into the gaming culture with a brand new Five Nights at Freddy's collaboration.
Okay.
Launching the Freddy Fazbear Crunch menu ahead of the release of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Have you heard of it?
I'm reading a story. I have no idea.
I was going to say, have you ever heard of it? I haven't heard of it.
Someone might.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
It's like this.
They're very popular games.
Brent, I read it. Brent knows what that is.
Okay.
I don't play them, but
you know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is.
He knows it.
The lineup features the Freddy Fazbear box, which includes 3 classic or spicy chicken tenders coated in garlic parmesan rub, cheesy bites, and marinara sauce.
Right.
Fans looking for more can grab the deluxe box, which adds a drink and a pink frosted cupcake inspired by the game's iconic characters.
Iconic.
So iconic, I don't know what it is.
We've never heard of it.
Well, they had the first movie came out like last year, I think. It's pretty much, imagine if you went to Chuck E. Cheese and the animals like killed you. That's pretty much what the movie is. You know how Chuck E. Cheese had the animated, like, the band or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that.
No, I'm good.
I figured that.
Do you know what's weird, real quick?
What do you got?
What's weird is, like, you and I had never heard of this Freddy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Also, I never heard of K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, I sprung that on you, dude.
You told me that.
I know you're like out of touch
now. It's like all I listen to is the Golden Song. It's the most beautiful song I've ever heard in my life.
Is it? Kids love it.
Kids love it.
Kids are enamored.
It's like, how is this person singing this note? It's crazy.
Well, here's my point, though. Isn't it weird that we can live in this digital world and be completely unaware
of a lot of things,
of a lot of things, and even very popular things that resonate, like with different age groups or communities, or you know what I mean? Like, we could spend our entire lives talking San Diego sports, and someone in Albuquerque has never, ever, ever heard of who we are.
Correct.
Or even in San Diego, truthfully. Right?
Right.
Like, I just find that very fascinating that you can like do something.
The internet, the world.
Yeah.
It's a large place.
Wait, what are you saying?
Like
the internet's
like
big?
the internet, like the actual platform.
I finished the internet.
You did?
Yeah, yesterday. Last night I finished reading it.
I feel like the internet's kind of like
unfinishable.
It's like the universe. It's just like it's like ongoing and never stops.
It's a good point. Honestly, a good point. How much more information is put on the internet every second with published information and sports and
right now. There's like websites on websites on websites.
I mean, around the world.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking? I mean, it's ridiculous to consider it.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's kind of like, I don't know, solar system. It just goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on.
It's like never ending.
What are we talking about?
I have no clue.
I have no idea.
Basically, we know nothing. That's what we're getting to. That's the conclusion I've come up with.
Well, we're going to know a lot more about SDFC's upcoming match Monday night, Western Conference semifinals. Adrian Garcia Marquez, Darren Smith, 1 full hour getting you ready for Monday night at Snapdragon Stadium. If you missed anything tonight, sportssd.com, iHeartRadio app, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Spotify. You can leave a review if you're listening to us via podcast. For Brent and Jim, I'm John. STFC Midweek Live coming up next on San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.